Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
They've been physical. Even in that first period, they had some offensive zone time, which was noticeable.
Zeller out in front, they score! They're just so aggressive on the puck. There's Cartier across, score! Connor Sherry! Off the feed from Ty Cartier! Wembanyama's defending almost every shot, including that one! It's incredible. He's unbelievable.
Like Wembanyama does? Never. And that's why people are already going out on the limb. Not a limb, but he's the greatest.
Jalen Williams hands it off. McCain gets to his spot, pulls up, and nails the three right on the sideline.
Yeah, it's just it's only like 99 of them.
Well, I was going to say, it reminds me of Fast and the Furious. And that's two in a row for McCain.
You know, to be able to, yes, for our guys to go around and I think show the love to the fans, because there's no doubt they had a huge impact on us winning those two games, just with the energy, how charged up it was. And it was really, really fun to be a part of that. And again, the Husker fans are going to remember that forever.
Good morning. Welcome in to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Early start.
Yeah?
Yeah, been to West Side.
What were we doing on the West Side this morning?
Little install, little meet. Trying to get ahead. We got a lot of young guys. Young pups.
What's the
Exactly. Come out and play. Believe me.
You don't have to tell me what you're installing, obviously. No, don't want to spill any state secrets here, but how does your install process work?
Tuesday's offense, Thursday's defense.
Yeah.
We meet. It's quite a time commitment.
How do you I've always been curious about this. How do you break down your process of installing? Where do you start when you're talking about having a bunch of young guys that maybe don't? Obviously, I know they come up through.
So line will do line.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start interior run game, exterior run game, pet plays, quick game, 5-7 step. Although we don't really have 7 step, but generally speaking, vertical passing game with the install. And then defense will go base front. We're super. This has been cool this year with these guys because we have so many pups. We're literally starting with a 6, a 7, and an 8. You know, lining up in a 1, a good stance, hands. This is last year to get kicked in the teeth was good for us.
That's kind of what I mean. How fundamental do you get?
We've gone back to the basics.
Okay,
all the way back. We peeled the whole thing back. Just gonna play ball.
How? Because I know you were just out at West Point.
Yeah.
I know you've seen lots of other colleges practice and do things like this. I don't know how much of their install you've been in for.
I'll be in Iowa next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How similar is the way on a
Nebraska on Friday,
or Iowa or West Point? How similar is their install, especially when you've got a ton of turnover in a lot of these programs from year to year now?
So there's a couple reasons we went to Army.
Okay.
Number one, their staff turnover was crazy for as good as your boy
Monken's incredible.
Do you know how tempted I was? I thought of you the first 30 minutes because everything runs on such a schedule there. And all their parking spots by the stadium are, hey, this is for such and such. This is for such and such. What do you think Coach Monken drives?
Oh, I got
you know a lot about his personality, right? He's very
meat and potatoes is how I would describe
He's very if then, right?
I would just
super pragmatic.
I would guess a pretty practical pickup truck.
No, my man has a silver Volvo SUV.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very safe. Yeah. It's probably an XC90 if I had to guess.
So staff turnover, teaching, implementation, they only have their guys a short amount of time, how they lift, their strength program. They look at their offensive line, man. They got 80% of their O-line benches 485 plus.
So I've always been fascinated about the service academy strength and conditioning.
Me too.
Because they have to be a certain size. They can't get huge.
So their linemen typically get smaller as they get older because they have to graduate.
Yeah, they have to be under a certain thing to be service members.
Yeah.
And so
it's phenomenal.
But they consistently have great offensive and defensive line play.
They're incredibly strong.
Yes.
incredibly strong. So they do this deal. I don't know. Listen, I'm not trying to give away the secret sauce, but they do high low reps, low reps, high sets, high weight. So like 15 things of 2.
Yeah.
12 things of 3.
I've seen training like that before.
Because the stimuli and the adaptation
basically they're training their nervous system as much as they are training their muscles.
100%.
Yeah.
So like it was anyway,
it's a very like power lifter-esque type of training because you want maximum output, but especially guys that are in lower weight classes don't want to put on the bulk that you get from the hypertrophy work.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know this whole time I think I said hypertrophy?
I did for the longest time. I still want to say it every time.
You said hypertrophy.
Yeah, I think I've heard
it's okay.
I've heard like doctors say it that way, but I said hypertrophy for my own entire life.
Okay.
So I really don't know which
looking at me like these couple of jarhead nerds. It's fine.
I'm
We're
like
talking about training.
You get into strength and conditioning with me, I get real nerdy in a hurry. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was sensational. So I think it's very similar. Like for Nebraska, one of the things that I like about this spring is it's so rudimentary. Like we're literally I'm watching Corey Brown work with these guys about stance and get off and explosive hands just over and over. It was giving me some vibes of other schools that I have watched practice before that I have an affinity.
I'll say that you kind of have an admiration for a little bit.
Yes. I'm not here to blow anybody else's horn.
No, I got you.
But I'm like, that's what I like. That's how I would do it, especially when you're a little younger and inexperienced and you just want to be good. Like I like what they're doing.
So I follow this.
That's how installation works, in my opinion.
I follow this guy on social media. It's the Coach Dan Casey account.
Oh yeah,
where
I follow DC. I follow DC. He was tweeting out some of Nebraska's triple stuff the other day.
So he was tweeting out, or I don't know when he sent it out. It was the 1951 Michigan State single wing.
Yeah, the single wing. That was just Saturday or Sunday. This
weekend.
And
so I was watching that. I saw it yesterday, and I'm watching that, and I just go, because I always struggle with this simplicity and executing at a high level, because that was sort of, and you can tell me if this is accurate or not, but that was the narrative around the 90s Nebraska's team, right? It's
go watch Indiana's run game.
Yeah.
Go watch Indiana's run game.
Simple.
Oh yeah. It's downhill and is explosive. It's powerful.
Because I think we get away from that a lot.
It isn't cutesy
And to be frank, that's one of the things that I've always liked, because it doesn't just have to be power run game or option or whatever. Like one of the things that I've really appreciated about Mike Leach and his coaching tree is that's actually a very simple offense.
Yes.
Like there's not a lot going on.
He has the famous index card play sheet.
Yeah, like there's not a ton going on there. Like you throw a lot of eye candy. It's one of the things why you wonder about my affinity for Gus Malzahn is for all the eye candy, they're not actually doing that many different things.
I know.
They're making you look all over the place.
And they also know like it's the hardest thing to do is eye discipline.
Yes.
Every coach at every level will talk about pre-snap eye discipline. Like kids or people, it's
going against your human nature.
You get distracted, and the minute you're on your heels or they're in the wrong place, it's like
then they got you.
Yeah,
like that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
So I am always fascinated by that. It's one of the reasons why anytime Kyle Shanahan comes under any kind of heat,
yes, Corn Raider, they're very successful. He said not tooting anyone's horn, but were they successful?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair question.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, it is. Listen, I rock with Raider.
No, that's a fair question. Like
I shouted you out yesterday on your Iowa call.
You want you want people to act a certain way, but it's got to yield a certain result at some point too.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So I definitely understand the question.
You would have been fat. Their weight room was incredible, but I had to give Coach Anderson a hard time, because you want to have an affinity and be appreciative, but he tagged the tweet because he was asking for our pictures and stuff to post that we took. And at the very end, he said, beat Navy. And I was like, Coach Anderson, listen, I'm very appreciative of going to West Point.
Mhm.
It's a little dark, a little dreary, a little intimidating, but they were very gracious, right?
Sure.
Learning how to, manage these RPO concepts because they run so much triple.
Yeah.
They see it every day.
Yeah.
And they always have like an outside threat, whether it's a pitch or a little dump off. And so I'm just like picking his brain on stopping RPOs with 3x1s and 2x2s. He had some good stuff. But anyway, like at the very end, he tagged, it was like hashtag beat Navy. And I was like, but I like Navy.
I do. I like Navy too.
But I like
I don't really
Navy.
have like a a dog in that race in terms of Army versus Navy versus whoever else. Although
Can I pet that dog?
I do think I like Army and Navy better than Air Force. I don't really know why. It might just be uniforms, if I'm being honest.
When I started,
Although Troy Calhoun is
okay, so when
He's
I
really
first started liking college, so I'm talking kids.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a service academy, I was rocking with the Air Force.
Yeah.
I love D. Dallas. I was a big Bo Morgan guy.
Yeah.
Like I liked Air Force.
Yeah.
And my sister was stationed at Fort. She was in the Air Force.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So I had been to Colorado Springs, and she is 12 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So just think when she's enlisting, or do you enlist or enroll?
Enlist, I think, unless you're in academy, then you enlist.
Okay, so when she's doing that, like I'm super impressionable.
Yeah, sure.
Right, I'm 7.
Yeah.
8. Right. So I rocked with the Air Force. Then it went kind of Navy.
Yeah.
I've never really been an Army guy until the last handful of years. Because I like the way that their secondary plays.
So I will agree. So I liked Army early because my grandfather was in the Army.
Well, my dad was a Marine, so he wanted me to rock with Navy, and I just was like, I don't know, man. Maybe if the Marines got their own team, I would. But we gotta graduate to that.
Yeah. So my grandpa was in the Army, but he was an aviator. So when the Air Force kind of broke off into their own thing, he went and joined the Air Force officially. And so I liked Army and Air Force, but in terms of like the actual football of it all, I probably leaned towards Navy because I really, really loved how they ran triple option. But when Monken took over at Army, I kind of became an Army guy.
Well, with
Monken.
the weather, I mean, what was it here Saturday? 90?
Yeah, it was into the 90s. It was like 94.
It was 48 and raining, and they're like, yeah, there's a reason we run the offense we do.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's weather. Part of it's also what we talked about with the linemen. Like you gotta run something where your linemen move.
That will be a nationally.
Yeah,
this isn't just. I mean, they just beat Oklahoma in a bowl game a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
I think he's 6-1 in his last 7 bowl games.
Dude, this is why I'm obsessed with him. Like he's incredible.
They won 12 games 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's like no, but I say all that to say they're the only team to win 12 games and not get in the
and they never will. Like they just won't. And I understand, like whatever. But
I say all that to say their offensive line play is sensational.
Yeah,
and defensively to stop it, they have to put their guys in the move all the time. Because they're undersized.
Yeah.
So things like that interest me because we've never been big.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just
at Westside, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just never been big up front.
And
but we, I mean, typically, I mean, we're tops in the state and stopping the run.
I would say you have good line play though.
Yeah.
That's one of the offensively, that I like offensive linemen on the move.
Yeah.
Like it's just a thing that meets my eye well. I like pullers. I like getting those guys out up front. It's probably from watching Nebraska growing up and then seeing a couple guys out there in front of the running backs just knocking out DBs. Like it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And so I've always had sort of an affinity for that. That's probably why it lends myself to
Dixie. I know you have to talk about something, but just win 7 or 8 games in year 4. Like, are you saying that's the goal or that's all you want?
I mean, I'm sure I think he's one of those like, hey, why do we got to keep talking about this? Just go win football games. And it's like, well, they can't start that for another 5 months there.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game. Like
also,
I mean, we'll be talking opening day baseball coming up.
Yeah.
We'll be talking like it's just what we do.
I'm gonna be honest, man. We're gonna talk about the things we like, and like I hope you guys like it too. But I'm not gonna sit here every day and just talk about stuff I don't like talking about. Like that's sort of the deal.
I mean, we got 4 days off for the NCAA basketball tournament. Like, you can only break down so many matchups.
Yeah.
Right. We will get a good guy today.
I'll say
that was an incredibly fast get. He must have remembered us from what, 17, Shane?
Yeah, it was 2017, I believe.
We got Jess Settles coming in. He's a former Iowa basketball player and a college basketball analyst. He will join us at 8:00 to preview this Iowa-Nebraska matchup. And then Mitch
2019. We had him last. Yep.
Mitch Sherman will join us at 9. He's going to be on Tuesdays with us now. I think he felt like he was on the move too much on Wednesdays. So
keep the conflicts down.
Yeah, I think he was, with the dog groomers and stuff, and he wanted to be a little bit more stationary on our visits.
How often does he need to groom a little dog? He only has the one.
I don't know, man. I got short-haired dogs, so there's not a lot of grooming there.
You cannot pet that dog.
No, I get it.
So I don't know, but I think maybe Wednesdays was a big appointment day for him. So he's gonna
day off, middle of the week, got stuff to do.
Yeah, I think he's gonna join us on Tuesdays moving forward on his every other week schedule. So that's gonna be the lineup for today. Ken says still baffles me as to why you can't incorporate some of Osborne's offense. He used elements of the RPO before anyone. I would argue, and this is the thing, I texted you about this. I want to say it was, what was game 2? Was it Akron?
Oh, yep.
So the first time we saw TJ Lateef, I texted you and I go, yeah, in 2 years, the RPOs you could run with this dude and Dana are going to be unbelievable. And part of that is because I think you can run basically a version of triple option with RPO, right? You can have a handoff fake.
RPO is triple.
Yeah. It's just the pitch looks a little different.
Because it's a pass.
Right. And you're going to line up probably a little differently.
You have inside run game. You have an inside run game component, an edge run game component with your Q.
Yeah. And then an outside
and an
threat.
Outside threat.
Right. Because you're basically, you can basically run in a section what would be a zone read, right? And then you've got, if your quarterback keeps it, he still has the outside threat option as well. So it's basically triple option. We just don't call it that anymore. Yeah. And it's lined up differently. It's just, a little more spread out most of the time. And the pitch becomes a little dump off pass. But,
don't you guys remember Turner Gill would ride a fullback and he would come down the line.
Yeah.
And so they had a completely different element to it too, like true triple, where he would give you the read. He'd come down the line of scrimmage. He had a pitch back, or he would bang a deep shot. And it was just goodness, that'd be hard to stop.
It certainly would be. I think it's also hard to execute to keep your lineman from getting downfield.
Well, but see, now it's different.
Because they give you a little more leeway.
Yeah, and it sucks. As
a
defensive guy, because everything looks like run.
But for offense, it gives you a lot of options.
Yeah, they need to stop that. I think every game we talk to the officials about RPOs. Hey, man, what's the
hey? How far
we talking 2 yards here?
How far are you gonna let these guys leak down?
Because I need to see a lot of these today.
No, I think that's fair. Dixie says, I went back to basics, took a few typing tests, watched a few, I don't know what that says, subtraction. I don't know what that means. Talking about math?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just talking about remedial education. What are we doing here, Dixie?
Yeah, that's there must be. I mean, he usually only gets his jokes.
Yeah, that's fair. Funky Giblet says, this might be a dumb question, but has the slot guy traditionally been smaller because of short area quickness?
No, it used to be guys like Richard Bell and Nate Turner. Those guys were good size. Now, Richard Bell
sort of like mini tight ends almost.
Nate Turner was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the league at Buffalo. Great guy, by the way. His son was a QB, came out in Chicago area a couple years ago. Not necessarily. Some teams now, Giblets, with that 12 and 13 personnel, they like bigger guys in the slot.
Well, they almost just like split a tight end out a little bit, right?
So it just depends. No, I think
it depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think the rules predicate where you can't touch a guy for 5 yards and he's inside the hashes. I mean, you get guys that you can't touch; they're impossible to cover.
Well, you kind of see that
those stupid. That's where all the mesh concept started. You
can't
touch them. It used to be a no-fly zone. You'd knock those guys on their ass, and they'd come playing peekaboo across the middle. But now you can't do it. He touched it.
You can kind of see that. I mean, you see that a lot with tight ends in the NFL, where they'll split out basically into a slot, and then just get in within that 5-yard range and just sit.
Look what all the teams in the NFL are doing now is with 12 and 13 personnel, which is why tight ends are so high. I was trying to stay in the car and listen to Stowers because he's kind of making the tour on why he thinks he's the top tight end in the draft, because it is a pretty good tight end draft with Sadiq and Sowers.
I'll say Sadiq's your guy.
I really do like him. I hope he catches the ball well.
I'll say he tested like crazy.
Oh, he's a freak.
I mean, like
crazy. I'm a big Sadiq guy.
I know you are.
I want him to catch the rock. I took a pen for the guys at West Point because it was a West Point pen.
Oh, let me see.
No, look at I'm traumatized enough. Look at that.
Oh, you chewed on it?
I did not chew on it.
Oh,
I know. Believe me. Believe me. I know. But anyway.
That's not great.
No.
TK says, I'll trade stricter 2-yard enforcement for the old cutting rules.
Oh, that's hard. But I know why TK likes it, because he's built low to the ground. He's an interior lineman. They ran the flex or single wings.
Yeah.
That would be tough. D-line, they'd start crying again.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have lots of long touchdowns because we could cut on the perimeter.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are stand-up guys now.
Yeah.
You can't
do nothing about that.
So it's like the whole tackle box thing. I don't know. Would I? That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to pick one.
Yeah, one or the other.
I think I would take I think I still don't want chop blocks.
Yeah. I understand their effectiveness. I don't love it.
Especially in versus outside.
I don't love it.
Add it to the list. I'm not traumatized. I was so unfazed, TK, I took the pen anyway.
I'll be honest, man. If I got a pen,
it's such a great, this is a beautiful pen.
If I got a pen and
a precise V,
realized that it had been pre-chewed on, I would not deal with that well.
Yeah.
I would probably get rid of that pen personally.
Your boy took it anyway, even as a germaphobe. It's I can't even read. It's a precise V5 RT.
What's the brand?
Pilot.
Oh, Pilot makes a good pen. I like a good Pilot pen. Pilot and Zebra are my go-tos.
So what do you call these when it writes like this?
I believe that's technically a gel.
Like, those are the ones I like.
Yeah, they're nice pens. Headley says, why do I have zero interest in spring football? This hasn't happened to me in 37 years
I don't believe that.
Life.
I don't believe that.
I don't either. I do think
I think
people are less focused because of basketball.
I think you're just distracted.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's not that you don't care. You're distracted.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Which is fine.
If
they're playing in the second weekend for the first time
if
ever.
Nebraska basketball was in the offseason, you would care about. I think it's just a thing to say you don't care.
I think you're not as locked in, which is totally understandable, but I don't know. I care a lot. I'm fascinated by the spring. I'm very excited for the spring game. Speaking of which,
I mean, good point, Justin.
What did Justin say?
I mean, I get it, but did you see how I clicked it?
Yes.
Does it change the texture at all? Like where you would write, like hold it?
No.
Okay.
It's just at the very end.
Oh, Funky Giblets is a big Pilot guy, big Pilot pen guy.
Yeah. I hear the
G2 is a great pen. Funky.
I think it's just kind of I mean, what are you going to get for the spring game? Probably 25,000, 20.
I mean, it's going to be low because of the basketball game. Yeah.
Oh, we're chalking a win on Thursday?
Even if they don't, I think the travel logistics of getting back will make it a lower.
That would be a lot.
Yeah.
And it's early.
Especially coming off the Oklahoma City game. Like, I think if you're getting back on Friday, it's an early kick on Saturday. I do think they're going to beat Iowa, but regardless, I think it's going to affect.
Where are we at with the line? Because I think we got TK to pounce.
On 1.5?
Are we still at 1.5?
Let's take a look-see.
I think that's as low as he's going to get it. At
1.5?
I think.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Ken Palm's got it at 3-4 Nebraska, so I don't think we're getting much lower than 1.5.
So you know what's interesting?
Mm-hmm.
You know how I like to always compare it to the money line?
Yeah.
It's still minus 130 on the money line.
It didn't move at all?
But only 1.5. So you're going to let me – so let's say you're going to let me get 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So Nebraska has to win by 2 for 10 more for $1.10.
Mm-hmm.
$1.10. 11 to make 10. Put
Yeah.
it to you like that. Or just to win the game by 1, it's going to be 13 to 10.
Yeah. That means Vegas hasn't changed what they think about the outcome.
No, I think they still like Nebraska as a winner. And it hasn't been the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it you or TK? I would have made the line 4.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that yesterday. We talked about what the line was.
Yeah,
we didn't talk
I
about what
must have just been talking to TK.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we have so many sidebars. I think he did scare me into getting back to him about a month ago when he said I didn't get back to him and he needed something on time. So I'm conscious to try to get back to him.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I talked to him too much. That's screenshotting that guy from the plane. I'm like, I literally just got through LaGuardia's nightmare.
Yeah.
What? Can I ask you something? Hey, Sash, do you have a mic? Okay. You're a very impatient person. I'm just curious.
The face is.
Oh boy.
So we waited in line 320. The flight was 254. Okay, so you're at 6 and some change. If you knew it was gonna take 6 and some change, and I'm not talking about driving from New York because obviously the flight is better.
Yeah.
But if it was a 6 or a 7 hour drive, would you have just driven?
Definitely.
100%.
Really?
I'm not why wait when you could use the same amount of time and get there in the 6.5 hours?
Because you don't have to be near as present to drive or to fly.
To fly as opposed to drive. I think it's a stress level more than a presence thing.
Do you think that's your sphere of influence would think that way?
Yes, I've actually been talking to several people about this over the last few days about like
if you were going to get there at the same time anyway.
Yeah. Because I was talking to a lot of people about.
If we're getting there at the same time anyway, maybe I wouldn't drive. But if I'm not leaving for 6.5 hours, I'm gonna drive because I'm gonna get there.
So
I don't know.
When the plane hadn't crashed into the fire truck yet, that was at night.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have. And they closed it yesterday up until 3 at the earliest. We wouldn't have even gotten out.
Yeah.
So
there is, and obviously, like you said, you're driving from New York isn't really an option.
No.
But I've been talking to a lot of people about the Houston thing, about whether like how to get to Houston, and I was like, with the situation with the TSA, 14 hours might get you to Houston sooner.
Yeah, but the thing about Houston now,
especially if you're flying into Bush Intercontinental, because Hobby's a little kind of boutique airport. It's a little like a little closer to Epley. It's not as small as Epley.
I will say this pro tip: if you get stuck at the airport at Houston, they do have a Papados. Just saying.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
The Houston airport does have a Papados. So
I've been to
feel free to have to spend an extra amount of time in the Houston airport if you can eat a Papados.
So if you're trying to fly, I'll break down the whole Houston flying situation for you.
I've been to that airport like 6 times.
I've been
just okay. But they got a Papados.
I've been to Houston like a million times. My sister lives down there. If you're flying Southwest and trying to get a direct flight, Hobby is your only option. They fly into Hobby. They don't fly into Intercontinental. Yep. So if you're trying to get that direct flight, which I think the one on Wednesday is already sold out. So
I think it took, this is a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
I can't confirm it. 2 hours from the available flight time to it selling out.
It was sold out by Sunday. So I don't know. I mean, that's the first time I looked, and the nonstop was sold out by Sunday. You can still get a one stop. and from Southwest, or you can take other airlines and get one stops and end up in Intercontinental. I will say, if you're worried about the amount of people, Intercontinental is probably not your bet.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby's probably your bet. It's a much slower airport. If you're worried about I'm getting stuck anyway and I want stuff to do, Intercontinental is the way to go because there is way more stuff there. Hobby's like not a lot going on in terms of shops and restaurants.
My buddy Jeff at AAA, because I was just toying with some things in my mind about, never mind, because I don't know what I'm doing. But he said for a mid-size sedan driving to Houston, for a mid-size sedan, he calculated the gas prices at 16, if you can hold 16 gallons. Mm-hmm. He said you're spending in the low 250s for gas.
There and back? I mean, that's half of what a ticket's going to cost you. And you can take 4
God,
people.
that seems like a lot.
You can take,
doesn't it?
250?
Yeah.
I mean, a flight.
It's a squiggle in 255, so roughly.
A flight, the cheapest flight that's available right now is $500. If you're going with more than one person.
Oh, that's not horrible.
No, but if you're going with 2 people, it's $1,000.
See, I would have guessed more.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that are more, but that you can still get there. At least as of yesterday, you could get there for $500 because I was looking for somebody. But
dude, Waltz, that's top. That's the airport you just said is top
awful.
5 worst in the country.
Awful
in the country. Even when TSA is up to snuff,
still
that
terrible.
Airport sucks.
Yeah, ATL is rough. The problem is if you're going with more than one person, that 500 becomes 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever, and so the 250 all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's super reasonable.
God, is that an option, Ken?
What's that?
What's it cost to rent a semi? And who's got a CDL license?
I think he was kidding with the cartel comment, but maybe.
Dang, you like the ATL? Micah, he's in 7-on-7. They got stuck there.
Yeah, the ATL airport is
they got stuck.
Lot.
Holy smokes, I can't.
Steve says IAH.
You're one of one.
Steve says IAH Intercontinental has been having 3-hour waits to get through TSA. So that's the thing. When you start adding in like 3 hours on each end for TSA, all of a sudden 14 hours becomes a pretty reasonable number to drive.
Now, I will say this, Waltz. Plenty of good restaurants in the Atlanta airport, though.
Yes, that is accurate. They have lots of good restaurants.
The other bad thing about the ATL, I don't know if you had to get a rental car. It's like Fort Knox to get out of there.
Yes.
It's far away. It's locked in. You have 3 stops to make before you can get your car. They have to let you out with the gate thing. It's like, can we streamline this a little?
So that is the other thing. If you're renting a car once you get to Houston, you're probably adding a couple more hours onto that situation. And all of a sudden you're at 3 in TSA, 2.
Ooh, 1 checkpoint. Good Lord. That was LaGuardia.
You're going 2 on a rental car. We're at 5 just at the airport. You're 3 in the air. That's 8. You probably 2 more on the front end at Epley. All of a sudden I'm at 10 hours and I have just left the airport with my rental car. At that point,
maybe Nebraskans are just rich.
Maybe, but Nebraskans also are drivers.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I'm looking at a 10,
that is yeah.
If I'm looking at 10 hours all in on a flight situation, and I still have to rent a car,
14-hour car ride,
I'm probably just taking my car, and it's a quarter of the price if I'm taking 2 people. Because that's the other thing Nebraskans are is like fiscal.
Yeah.
Even if they're rich, that's the thing about Nebraskans. Even when they have money, they're not like in a hurry to spend it.
I don't know. So listen, Game Dog. Maybe this adds to the soft thing. I'd get on a bus.
So that's kind of the
if I could just take a look at the hygiene setup first. Like it can't be like filthy. But I got no problems with somebody driving me anywhere.
Here's the only problem.
This could be driving DB. I got no qualms.
Apparently, unless I'm driving to Indy, and then it's nothing but problems.
We doubled down. The music was horrible and you're slow. Like, that's too much. Now, extremely funny. But the music was horrible and it was very slow.
Yeah, I'm a good time though, so that helps.
When you weren't pooping your pants.
I never pooped my pants. I was pooping a lot, but there were 0 accidents.
Yeah, that's.
I want to make that very clear.
I wouldn't.
There was no John Papuchas my pants. All right, none.
I've looked at train options before.
So I wish this is.
My sister's like the train expert.
I wish the Midwest had better train options.
Yeah,
you've got it in the Northeast. You got a little bit on the West Coast. Because I've looked at I've wanted to take trains to
I looked at ones to Colorado.
Like an Omaha to Chicago and Omaha to Denver train would be awesome.
And then, so my sister was like telling me about the kind of cars you have to get, the single car if you want your own, and then like the amount of stops. And I was like, fudge, man, I feel like maybe I should drive.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? But I don't love driving in the mountains.
Yeah, driving in the mountains kind of sucks.
Oh,
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a big fan.
You should have seen us this weekend.
And I've never even done.
Because I don't know if you think New York and.
No, it's
Western
but you
New
get
York,
like the Appalachians and stuff up there. And I've never done the Rockies. Like I've never driven through the Rockies. But when I was looking at colleges after high school, my mom and I did sort of like a tour of the Southeast, looking at different places. And we were in the Appalachians a lot, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, he said 1995. You're 100% probably right. Way more sanitary.
Here's the other problem with buses is a lot of times.
That's correct, MJ. That's what it ended up being, especially if you get the right car. Train. It's sneaky. The base to just be basically a hobo. It looks appealing until you look at the 64 stops.
Yeah. So it takes forever.
And then
that's the same thing with the buses. I've looked at taking Greyhounds places before.
DM, I am not I have to gear up to drive in the mountains.
Yeah.
I told you I pull off at the same little stop.
Yeah.
Right before you hit when I'd go to Estes Park. I'd get out, I'd go to the little mart, I'd get the snacks because they did their own sesame sticks in-house. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would okay, all right, come on, you got this. You got this. It's only 45 minutes, man. Dial in, you got this. And I still would be this guy.
I was like white knuckling that thing.
I couldn't poop a raisin. I mean, I'm
clenched.
Oh yeah. Flipping. It's on
you're flop sweating.
It's the winter and it's low in my car for the AC.
I will say when you see the semi runoff points, it's pretty disconcerting. You're just I don't love that,
dude. When they give you the number for the elevation of the blind spot, my stomach just goes.
Or it's beware of falling rocks. I was like, okay, great. Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah,
it's mountain, other car lane, edge of the world. Where would you like me to watch for the falling rocks, friends?
Dude, and then people that are so used to it can just drive.
Yeah, they're just
they're on your bunda, and it's I'm sorry. I can't even be mad that you're mad at me. I know I'm acting like a first-time driver. And I've done it probably 7 or 8 times.
If I'm in a rental, I almost just want to put a sign in the back so you just be like, I'm from Nebraska. Give me a minute.
But you know what's interesting? I don't love Texas is so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
You know the sneaky thing about Houston? Stuff is so far apart.
It is. You have to rent a car.
It's so far apart.
Ubering around Houston, if you're not staying directly near the Toyota
Isn't
Center.
Your sister in the sticks?
Yeah, she's not even in Houston anymore. So she was never in Houston proper. So she was in Sugar Land, which is relatively close to Houston.
Dude,
now
she's big bucks.
They do pretty well. And then I don't know, put their business out there, but they're doing all right. And then they moved out even further because they wanted some land.
Yeah.
So they're 45 minutes from Houston now, but they're still Houston. That's what everybody in Houston
now
does.
You're starting to weird me out.
Yeah. What?
Could I go hang out with them?
Oh, yeah. You're
okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I go hang out with them.
So are we talking close to West Texas?
No, they're southeast, so they're not getting west.
Okay,
they're getting closer to the Gulf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going the other way.
No, they're cool.
Yeah, I'm not. I was gonna say keep the land out there.
No, they live in this little place. It's probably 20 minutes from Sugar Land.
Yeah,
and then Sugar Land's 20 more minutes from Houston. But yeah, if you're trying to you got to stay either real close to Toyota Center, which is going to be expensive, or you better have a car because Ubering from anywhere in the suburbs down to Houston is going to cost you way more.
I think Lance like killed everybody with reminding that the Astros opening pitch is at 3:10, and they're playing at the Toyota Center.
Or right next to
right next to the Toyota Center.
Yeah, the stadiums are right next to each other.
It's at the Toyota Center. Wouldn't that be something? I mean, it is a Mickey Mouse park, but it's definitely not indoors where they have hoops.
I kind of like that ballpark.
Oh God, I think it sucks.
Really?
Yes, it's horrible.
Why?
Well, number one, it's the Astros.
Well,
that's first. And
I'm taking the
foremost.
Astros out of it.
Number two,
it's not a bad ballpark.
It's like rinky dink.
What do you mean?
I mean, you blow on a ball and it leaves the park in left field. It's like
I'm talking about like.
And is it indoor? Is it outdoor?
I'll
It
be
looks
honest.
like a club up there.
When you're in Houston in July, you're not mad when they close that roof.
No, I'm with you.
Like, you're pretty happy when they close the roof.
And I'm black too. Like the sun finds me.
I was like, give me some shade.
I absorb it.
Give me some shade.
You other people reflect.
I will say when like during the 7th inning stretch when they start singing "Deep in the Heart of Texas," it gets a little dicey in there in a hurry. But
Dixie, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that park sucks.
It's good for like amenities. Like it's a modern.
Okay, I forget. We're very different like that. You are a big
amenities guy.
Yeah, like
I should be. I like more. I'm a nerd. Like I'm not that fun. I like practical. I like when a ball is hit. I want it to sound a certain way. Like,
sure,
that place is.
So for gameplay, that's fair. Totally fair. My point is, if I'm going to watch a game somewhere, I want one of two things. I either want like historical significance, like a Wrigley or a Fenway, or I want it to be a great experience for me, which is the modern ballparks. And in terms of amenities, accessibility to like bathrooms and concessions and stuff like that, it's a good ballpark.
This is
easy to get around.
Total hot take, and I apologize, Vers, my dude. Like, dab me up. Wrigley blows.
All the old ballparks blow.
It's like
that's what.
Come on, man.
I mean, listen. I famously like.
Dang, Kenny, you got a bike?
I'm gonna tell you.
He's a big guy.
People get mad at me about this. Rosenblatt sucked too.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
No, I know. I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
There were 2 bathrooms in that entire place for 25,000 people.
As severe, I voluntarily would take the stairs. I wasn't getting on that little rickety elevator.
No,
and it was only
absolutely not.
2 floors. I'm good. I'll jog my little butt up the blue aluminum stairs.
I was like 11 years old when I figured out that place was a dump. When we got stuck in the concourse during a tornado warning.
Yeah.
And that entire place smelled like urine, the entire concourse. I was like, are people peeing in the hallways? What's going on here? No, that's just the smell of the building after that long.
That's tough.
It was awful, right?
Yeah.
I understand the nostalgia. I have some of my best childhood memories at Rosenblatt Stadium. It's a near and dear place to my heart. You know what I love? Being able to go to the bathroom and not wait in line for 40 minutes and miss half the game at the Chuck.
I still prefer. I'm just old. I prefer Rosenblatt.
That's fine. I'm saying as like a fan experience, the Chuck is better. Like in terms of just being there watching a game. But like again, some of my like core memories. Like I was from me to Sasha away from the Warren Morris home run. That's the first game I ever saw at Rosenblatt.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that's a like core memory for me. And also Bleep Miami, right? But like this is so like I understand the affinity for Rosenblatt.
That's a beautiful call too for Corn Raider.
But if we're objectively talking about it, it was tough.
And it seemed like it used to get hotter.
Oh, Rosenblatt did for sure.
No, like the weather.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling out the almanacs of like
Dates, but when it was hot at Rosenblatt, it was hot.
Yes. I think I have a feeling it was when they put in the all metal in the outfield when they switched from the wood to the metal.
Because technically it gets warmer now than it did 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I will say
not to be controversial or anything.
I will say I do think they could do a little bit to make it feel less corporate.
Yeah. So
but to be fair, the Chuck's a great Like the Chuck's a great ballpark for just watching a game.
Rico, were you part of the crew where they did the deal where Nebraska fans in 2005 could swap their general admission tickets? They did the giveaway when Nebraska was in the College World Series.
No, I wasn't part of that.
Yeah, it was a different zoo, just 30 feet over for that deal at Rosenblatt.
Yeah, I was at the Sunday game on Father's Day in 2001 when they made it. I think it was 2001, right? 01, 02? 02?
Maybe.
Whatever the first one was, I was at that Sunday game on Father's Day. And that was probably the most hectic sports viewing experience of my life, just because
because you got to think the only comp for a Nebraska fan to Saturday would be the CWS if it's not a national title game. Is there a regular season sporting event that could compare? It can't be. It's not even a legit question, right?
The one I compared it to the other day was, in terms of like desperation, was the Colorado game 2 years ago. That one was pretty tuned up. The one here in Lincoln.
That was electric.
Right? So that's the one that kind of comes to mind. In terms of a travel experience,
was that the game Jay Moore walked home?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was JB was in town. He brought some meat up from KC, and I forgot he had it in the cooler, and I was kind of heading towards the interstate.
Yeah.
And he was at a particular drinking establishment. I had to go back and get it, and I was like, I don't know how people do this anymore. Dude, it was like mob deep. I parked in an alley. And I was like, it was like a secret rendezvous to get like 8 kilos. He like slid me the cooler, and I got in and out. I was like, gave him a hug. I was like, didn't have to be 8 kilos. That was a little
somebody here said, Game Dog said, Sweet 16 for Nebraska surpasses any CWS appearance for Nebraska baseball.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
CWS is especially here.
It's so hard to get there.
It is.
And you have to win significant. So my only pushback on that,
you got to win a lot.
You got to win a lot more games.
And like, because of how ingrained the College World Series is for like this state, and especially Omaha, but especially like this.
You got to win regionals, then supers.
Yeah, it's hard to get here. It's really hard to get here.
And I would think up until that point, both programs had similar futility
in baseball.
Similar futility, so respectively each sport.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha.
You know,
basketball
what I mean?
And baseball.
Basketball and baseball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not calling that a hot take. I have to.
I think we're underselling the College World Series if we don't at least consider it. I think it's close at the very least.
No, Phantom. That should make him the #1 pick alone. He did start that chant again. Like he's famous. He's
for which one was that?
The refs suck. The refs you suck.
Oh yeah.
And he got the other one at the stadium. Yeah. Like I
want to know who started the Husker power chant.
Everybody knows it's him. I know I have had to have seen him before.
I want to know who started the Husker power chant with like 11 minutes left to go in the Houston game. I know. That was incredible.
Well, they're going to be dueling.
You think the Houston fans are just like, what's happening here?
Houston's still recovering from my people acting like fools for spring break. Now they got.
Here's the thing. I've got kind of a hot take here. My sister went to the University of Houston, and so did my brother-in-law.
My mom was a Texas Southern alum.
So I have, and I'm sure it's somewhat different since then with their level of success in basketball.
Look at Caleb. He probably was.
Like, Houston's not a rabid fan base.
I understand. But don't you feel like they'll be competitive? Like, not in our house?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I get that I get that Kelvin Sampson has like kind of like revitalized that program.
And he's a surly son of a gun.
He is. I really don't have a good sense. I know historically that this has not been a fan base that gets like particularly riled up in I don't know how much that's changed with Kelvin Sampson, but like, especially because a lot of these, especially with Nebraska, a lot of the people that are making these trips are your alums in like their 40s and 50s, and like the people that have money now that went to the school 30 years ago, which is kind of my sister's age. Like, she's in her 40s. She went there from late 90s, early 2000s. So that's kind of the ballpark. It was commuter campus is too aggressive, but there was a lot of like transient nature of Houston. It's not like,
no, I get it.
A&M or Texas where you're like
I get
there.
It.
It's not even like a TCU.
The transient thing is, I get it.
So I don't know how rabid the Houston portion of this is going to be. It helps that they're in Houston and they don't have to travel, because they weren't going to travel in a way that competed with Nebraska or even Iowa probably.
I'm just fascinated at the resources that the fan base can like generate to turn this thing around.
Well, I don't think they spent a lot of money on football, so it's a little easier on basketball.
Still.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I mean, you're dropping a couple, $2-3 grand in a week.
Yes. Oh, I thought you meant Houston fans spending money on their
Nebraska
roster.
Trying to match what they did in Bricktown, which is much more user friendly.
100%. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an expensive couple weeks for Nebraska fans. But it's also, I think a lot of people around here are like, hey, this is not once in a lifetime, but like, you don't know.
No, I do think it's kind of like that.
I think they look at it as, I mean, it's the first time in lifetime for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at it as you go, you never know when you're going to make it here again.
Yeah.
I mean, I did this with the Red Sox. Like in 2021, when they were in the ALCS, I think they're up like 2-1 on the Rays. And I'm sitting there and I go, I think it was the Rays. I'm sitting there and I go, okay, especially at the time, I was like, okay, financially, this is going to be a stretch, but this is the first time where it's viable for me to travel to a World Series.
Yeah.
I need to make it happen if they make it.
Right.
No,
I'm with you.
You know, if they ever make it again, like, I'm going. And whereas like
the
in
good
20,
thing I don't have to worry about being even poorer is that in the World Series are happening when I'm working. So I just get to run around my hotel room in the lobby floor.
You better hope they never have a bye week.
And cheer or hunker down. I mean,
like in 2018, 2013, I wasn't in a spot where that was feasible. And now it's like, okay, obviously it's going to be a stretch. Like, it's going to be a lot of money to fly to Boston for a World Series. But like, if they go, I feel like I have to go. Because like, how many times are they going to make that in your lifetime?
No, I get it.
You know, I mean, unless you're the Dodgers, where it's like, oh, we'll just be there next year. It's cool.
JD, we got to some wrestling. We just talked about it
kind
in passing yesterday on the heels of what happened. But I do have some juicy rumors about what's going on with that with wrestling.
Game Dog Clyde the Glide was the head coach at Houston when my sister was there.
Yeah.
He like took over for a couple years there. It didn't go well.
Oh, and JD, there's some riffs going on with Bono at Wisconsin and Ben Askren too, because none of the kids at Askren's wrestling club are going to Wisconsin.
Okay, so talk to me about Iowa. What do we got? I want some juice. We're about to talk to an Iowa guy. Give me a little juice.
Far be it from me. I think that like it sounds like there was an ultimatum given to Brands.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yeah, and they've already got the best thing about that is if you're a wrestling honk, you want to see what's happening between Okie State and Penn State.
So Jay Doherty says Angelo transferring to Nebraska.
We might be out on the Ferraris. I don't know. That's a whole conversation. They're very similar. Angelo didn't finish either at Big Tens after he got beat. Now he shouldn't have been wrestling Welsh in the quarters. Like, that's something else. But you got to beat them all anyway. Just that shouldn't have been a quarterfinals match.
Much like the vehicles, they seem high maintenance.
Don't get Queen on here. That dude loves wrestling.
That's fine. He doesn't seem like he'd like a lot of high maintenance people either.
No.
Queen does not seem like one to suffer fools.
You should have seen him in the line at LaGuardia.
Oh no. That seems like peak queen.
I kept I was doing too much probably. I was just trying to keep him in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Just leave him alone.
That is hour number 1. We'll be right back with Jess Settles, talk a little Iowa basketball. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
March into savings at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum starting at just $339 a month. A premium ride at an unbeatable price. Drive away with more this spring. Or save $2,650 on the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. Plus, finance at just 2.9% for 72 months. Don't wait. March into savings right now at Edwards Nissan. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
It was those extra points, and so anytime you have that, now we've come back after losing one of those and have won matches, after that, but it is kind of a, it takes a little wind out of the sails, and it was going back and forth, and, that was a well-fought match. It's exciting. I love that part of volleyball. I think it's why fans enjoy it so much too. It's just the knockdown, drag out every single point, and you're waiting to see what happens. So great match. I think that they came away with that, and it could have been anybody's at that point, but the Novas won that, and just wanted to respond in game 2 a little bit better.
It's always a great crowd here. They really love their volleyball, so it's always a cool environment to play in.
She even had some girls giving her signs at the end there, so she had a fan base there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, volleyball has given me best friends in life, and I feel like the friendships always stay the same. So it's wonderful to see old teammates, and those friends are going to last the rest of your life, not just while we're playing volleyball right now.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Condon will inbound it to Lee. Lee across midcourt. Lee speeding toward the basket. Lee leaves it underneath. That's it! Iowa, for the first time since 1999, will head to the Sweet 16 as they knock off the defending national champs.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Jess Settles. He is a former Iowa player and a college basketball analyst. Jess, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, great, fellas. March Madness is alive and well. It's so nice to have, our teams in it, Nebraska and Iowa, with a big showdown coming up. But this week can change your life as a player, and obviously a lot of legacies on the line this week.
Yes, I was so thankful you agreed. We hadn't had you in a couple years. We had some similarities, except you were much better at basketball than I was at football at Nebraska. But when you were playing, because this was not like this for me in the early 90s. I mean, Coach Fry had his success against Nebraska early in kind of 80 and 81, and he beat out Coach Osborne for Larry Station. And I think that was about as much vitriol early as we kind of had. Then there was the crouch run, and there was some here and there. Did you ever think this rivalry between the two schools would be at the pitch that it is now? It seems like it's just flat out nasty.
Not at all. I mean, we had almost, as a kid, right, growing up in the 80s and then playing at Iowa in the night, to be honest, we'd almost conceded that just Tom Osborne and Nebraska football was untouchable. I mean, they were in a completely different class. So, you just know in bowl season, it's like half the state of Iowa cheered for Nebraska football because there was the Midwestern team going out to the West Coast to take on the Bullies and pulling for you guys. And then obviously joining the conference flipped everything. But I think everybody in Iowa is as surprised as you guys are that Nebraska football is not where it used to be right now. It's hard to even believe year after year, and thus the rivalry has increased because on the field, you have it's not like you have one team just destroying another team every single time.
And kind of not even to the contrary, but along the same lines, Nebraska basketball, especially after Coach Hoiberg's early tenure and the lack of historical success since basically Danny Nee, the level of surprise for you there? Or did you always think Nebraska, with resources and the right guy, was capable?
Yeah, without question, right? You guys show up at those games and with the resources and the arena. I mean, Tim Miles was maybe a couple jump shots away from going to the NCAA tournament a couple years. I mean, he was so close, right? He poured his heart into it. I know they were torn even when he left. And then Fred comes in and, quite honestly, really struggled those first few years to adapt to the Big Ten. I mean, his system that he used at Iowa State, it just didn't translate. And then as you get beat up and you go through the wars, you kind of have to humble yourself and realize, hey, we got to get more size and we got to focus on defense. We can't come out and get in shootouts with everybody. And Nate Lesser, their defensive coordinator, has been with him off and on for many years. Good. And so I think I tweeted out earlier in the year, I think Nate, at the midway point, I think he was the most valuable, quote unquote, player in the conference because he got your guys and Fred to buy into defense. And in this league, you just have to defend. And that, to me, has just made it work. Now, I also thought the buzzer beater at Illinois changed the entire psychology of the program. I mean, it was almost like Nebraska had to have a signature win. I believe I broadcast the game before that on whatever channel that was. And I think I said on I think this is the biggest game I can remember in Nebraska history. Like they have to finally show up and get it done. And Illinois is phenomenal. They are old. They've got pros. And that shot just really seemed like it changed the mindset of the program. So congrats to the Cornhuskers. I mean, for a while they were the story in college basketball. They've taken a few punches and come roaring back, and they're in a really good spot right now.
Jess, I want to switch focus to Iowa here for a second because, as a lot of our listeners know, I am kind of a Ben McCollum honk. I'm a huge fan of him.
This has been a while.
Yeah, like I watched him come up at Northwest Missouri State, obviously last year at Drake, and I just have a huge affinity for his ability as a coach. I think he's phenomenal. I thought it was a great hire for Iowa. I also said when the bracket came out that Iowa's one of those teams that will stay with Florida. I was like, I don't know how the game's going to go, but at like the under 12 or under 8 in the second half, they're going to be in that thing, and then we'll see what happens. Obviously, we saw what happened there, but just talk about from like very different stylistically going from Fran McCaffrey to Ben McCollum. Like, what was, I guess, the thought process around Iowa City? Because we see this a lot where you kind of go from opposites when you're hiring coaches. Like, famously around here, you go from Bo Pelini to Mike Riley. Like, a lot of times you're like looking for the opposite of the guy you just got rid of, right? So, like, what was the thought process when McCollum came in? He only had the 1 year of Division I head coaching. Like, what was the sentiment around Iowa City when he was brought in?
Man, you make a great point there, right? I mean, it's like athletic directors, they damage their careers typically when they try to hire somebody who's the opposite personality or system of what they had, right? It really has nothing to do with it, and it shouldn't have anything to do with what you base your decision on in hiring, but 75% of them fall into that trap. Now, I think this one was a little bit different. Obviously, Fran is going to try to run you out of the gym. He's going to try to hang 85 points. His philosophy has always been that other teams usually can't get 85 points. And honestly, that seemed like that was kind of the first couple of years of the Hoiberg era, where we're going to focus on points per possession, who can shoot the ball quicker. The analytics of the game will, in the end, typically work. And Iowa was just like, hey, if you don't defend, then you can't win in March. Fran had some really good teams. Luka Garza was the National Player of the Year. Keegan Murray, I know you guys loved him.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best players in Big Ten history. And Iowa under Fran caught some bad breaks in a couple tournaments. And if you don't win in March, your fan base just stops paying attention. I mean, that's just how it is. And so to bring in McCollum, who's won at every level and won big, but those levels weren't the high major levels. So there's some risk there, right? Does it translate? Can you recruit? Can you get the big guys? But the defense has been really refreshing for the fan base, because I'm like you guys, you talk to everybody, I talk to everybody. And that seems like the number one topic that has come up over the last couple of years. We have to defend better. We need better defense. We need better defense at the point of attack. You can't win in March without defense. So he's been the perfect solution to that this first year. Time will tell with the resources and recruiting how well that goes. But that was just a monumental win against Florida. Guys, Florida, they got the best front line in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, they're used to punking guys on the offensive glass, and we were right there with them, and even on the glass. So that's just a massive win for the program, for a team who hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since I played. I mean, it was getting ridiculous.
Jess, it's excuse me, it's amazing because famously or infamously, and this is about Iowa's basketball history. You moved on from Alford. Yeah. You moved on from Tom Davis. Famously moved on from Lute Olson. I mean, these are great coaches. Iowa was ready to kind of next level. What's the expectations, do you think, for this basketball program? I mean, is it BJ Armstrong? Is it Marble? Like, you guys we're the same. I was 92, you're 93.
Yeah.
I remember the Mr. Basketball thing. It's like, what's the expectations?
I mean, you're telling me you've already thrown out BJ, Roy Marble, Lute Olson, and you dropped Larry Station on my childhood. Like, I'm gonna have to keep coming back. This is like, you just keep talking and let me listen. This is unreal. I mean, okay, so you got me hyped up right now. Larry Station was my guy back in the day, right? The glory days.
Yeah.
It's a program. Iowa basketball has an underrated fan base, right? They will pack it in there. We love basketball. Obviously, wrestling has been king. Football's been incredible for us, but we've had some glorious days. And losing Lute Olson was the biggest mistake we ever made as a program. And you saw what he did when he went to Arizona. Lute Olson could recruit Chicago like no one else. It's a hungry fan base that wants to play in Elite Eights and Final Fours and believes with the Big Ten platform and now with NIL that we can do that. It will be interesting with McCollum to see how he recruits. Because I was talking to Brad Underwood the other day in Illinois, and he's like, when I was a young coach, he goes, I was like everybody else, and I was obsessed with X's and O's. He goes, and then I realized after a couple games, it's all about the pros and the Joes, right? You have to have great players. And a kid like Price Sanford, right? If he's at Iowa right now, boy, we may be favored the next couple games. When he's over at Nebraska, it changes your season. So it's that fragile.
It is that fragile. I will say, though, when it came to X's and O's versus Jimmy's and Joe's, Florida had the Jimmy's and Joe's.
Right.
Iowa had the X's and O's in that game. I thought that was one of the best game plan executions because that was the only version of that game that Iowa could win, in my opinion. And even without Bennett Sturtz shooting the ball well, I thought his ability to control every aspect of that game was absolutely phenomenal. Unless you're, and then, you know, if you're not like a big basketball nerd, maybe you just look at it and you're like, well, he missed all of his shots. It's like, yes, he missed 0 for 9 from 3 or whatever, but his ability to keep that pace exactly where Iowa had to have it in order to be in that game, I was just blown away, not just by the game plan, but also the execution. Obviously, Bennett Sturtz is a pro, but you take Bennett Sturtz out of that equation, and we're not having anything close to this discussion about Iowa.
Very well said. I mean, we are completely overachieving. We have no business being in this game with the lineup we have, and that's a compliment to the guys. I mean, they are playing so much harder than their opponents, and with a lot of mid-major guys, Bennett Sturtz has not been playing well over the last couple weeks, but he's still controlling and winning the games. Exactly right. You look at the stat sheet, he's 5 for 15, he's 6 for 17, he's forcing some shots late, he's running out of gas. Yet the tempo of the game is all him. The pick and rolls, there's no one better at him than doing that. I mean, he's getting these guys 20 points who I don't think would score 8 at a lot of other schools at this level. I mean, he's just been phenomenal. I said on a show yesterday, he's due for a 28-point game. He's due for a breakout. And if he can do that and control tempo, boy, things could get really interesting over the weekend. I talked to Cronin, the UCLA coach, a couple months ago before the Iowa game, and he said, I tell my guys, you're not going to be able to speed up the Iowa team. You can't get in your mind that you're just going to track meet them. They will wear you down. They will foul you out. You have to run your stuff, and you have to change your mindset. That's really hard to do for a team that likes to score 80 or 90 points, and that's all because of Bennett.
Jess, I mentioned him earlier. We went to school together in Andy Royage, and I think as you got a little older, when he left Nebraska, there's something that goes into playing with different style of players. Like your game is your game. What are the unique differences in playing? What kind of players need to be playing with a guy like Sturtz, who's going to play 40 minutes? He's your only ball handler. You know he's constantly creating. You don't want to get caught standing and watching. What's it like, or what's it take to play with a guy like Sturtz, who is such a focal point?
You have to be a really good screener, right? Not only just laying wood on people, but knowing when to slip and how to read those. He's the best pocket passer I've seen in years, which means just when he turns the corner for your viewers on that pick and roll day where he just drops it off on that short roll. It's really hard to do. He's a master at it. You've got to be able to rebound and defend, right? Because in a low possession game, you not only have to stop the other team several times in a row, but you can't be giving up multiple opportunities at the rim, which again, I thought on paper that Florida would destroy us on the offensive glass and get multiple offensive possessions, but they didn't because of those guys. And then typically when you play with a guy like Sturtz or from McCollum, you got to be able to shoot the open three. Yeah. We have a lot of guys on the team who can't shoot. So it's just been, and that's why McCollum does so many of these little short rolls and these slips. I mean, if you watch Iowa, no one slips ball screens more than Iowa, and it really works because of Bennett. The interesting thing is Cooper Koch, who I played with his dad on the last Sweet 16 team at Iowa JR, Cooper's caught fire. He hit some monster shots in that game. So, blue collar guys with a few shooters give you an opportunity to win. That being said, what we lose 4 out of our last 5, and we lost at Penn State. So it's just if you can keep your mind right when you play against Iowa, and you can somehow get that game up in the mid 60s or above, you're going to have a chance to win. If you're going to be upper 50s, lower 60s, you're going to probably lose a two possession game.
That's crazy. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
So this is total fanboy stuff, especially when I'm playing football at the exact same time. But again, like I had to follow Andy's career once he left, so I always paid attention to what you guys were doing. And this is a dumb story, but I never could. I would always ask Dre. I would say, you got to ask Glasper why he spells his name like that. Like he puts the apostrophe in this. This is so dumb, Jess. But those are the kinds of things that I would pay attention to with you guys just across the river. Now, having said all that, Nebraska playing like no middle, right? We get it. The infamous traps. It's coming from either week. It's coming, right? Yeah. What challenges do you think that presents to the way that Iowa wants to play? Because they have yet to really shoot it well against Nebraska, but yet they had those spurts. They had the great 7-8-0 run in Iowa City. Late, they got that thing to overtime after being left for dead. What takes so long to figure out where Iowa eventually seems to be able to give Nebraska fits?
It's a great question. Nebraska is very physical, right? They don't let you run your stuff. You mentioned it. They're not allowing you into the paint. They're loading up. They're forcing you to skip it and move it side to side. And it just the mindset is different. It seems like the guys on the team just take so much pride in the defensive end compared to what the guys they've had in the past. Price is much better defensively than he was at Iowa. Now he's older. He's more mature. He takes that in more seriously. Lawrence is tough. Ken McCausland, dropping more names, called me after the first Iowa-Nebraska game. Kenny Mack led the nation in three-point shooting, as you remember that a long time ago. But he's made some comment that's out there before. He's like, we're talking about Sam Hoiberg, and he's like, hustle is a talent. Like, how does Sam, put together these 8.5 rebounds, 4 assist games when dudes that are a lot better than them don't? Well, his defensive mindset is he's more locked in at that end, which leads to better offense. But Nebraska just presents all kinds of trouble to teams with Mass, the way he can run that high post and shoot the three, and Big Burke. When those guys are hitting threes, they're really, really tough to beat.
You're gonna chuckle. You dropped McCausland.
Yeah,
it's a Waterloo guy.
Yeah, Waterloo town.
Where was my ex that I told you from?
Yeah,
Waterloo, Iowa.
Yeah. Oh no.
Jess, I listen.
All my exes live in Lewtown.
Let me ask you something. Generally speaking, since you do so many games, and especially in the Big Ten, I'm trying to figure out. We're previewing this thing, and I'm going to steal some of your talents talking about Purdue with ball screens and how Frager plays it, and the way Texas plays defense with drop coverage. It seems like a matchup nightmare for how they're ever going to stop Purdue, yet I think it'll be closer than the experts think. What makes Purdue offensively so efficient? I get Illinois. I do.
Yeah.
Long
dudes.
Your bigs can shoot. Everybody can shoot. That makes a ton of sense. Purdue is a little different, though. Why?
To me, they just master their sets, right? And then Braden just breaks everybody down with those sets. They've always, even back to Carson Edwards and those guys, they're running their best players off of so many bizarre screens and staggers and pin downs, and you're just constantly being deceived. That's how I see it. Yeah. And then Painter figured out, a long time ago that you got to get a couple big old bullies, and if they have some skill, then you're going to be in a world of hurt as an opponent. And he's been able to just bring in those giants. I mean, so those guys are laying the wood on you the entire game. They're running play after play after play. And just the elementary version of it, there aren't many teams in the country who take better shots than Purdue. They take good shots, and then Painter will always tell you which sets up your defense. You take good shots, you can get 3 guys back, you're set, and then you make the other team earn it. So who's their wing player? Is it Lawyer?
Yeah, Lawyer. Yeah, Lawyer.
He's the X factor, right? He's the X factor.
Unbelievable.
So I want to ask you about the Big Ten here for a second. Obviously, you got the 6 teams in the Sweet 16. The conversation all year was who's the best conference in basketball, where it's Big Ten, SEC, which I think DB and I both thought was a little overvalued, and then Big 12, which was super top heavy. Like, when you see the results of the tournament, do you feel like that's a justification for the Big Ten and how good that league was? Or are you kind of the mind where it's like, hey, it's the tournament, weird stuff happens, we kind of just get there, get where we get?
Right, I know it's so hard not to overthink these things, right? You've got one league has 3 teams win at the buzzer by 1, and so all of a sudden that conference is better. I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's our fault, right? It's what we do for a living. We have to analyze everything. I mean, throughout the course of the year, the Big 12 was the best conference. You can't. There was no mercy. There was no relief ever. Good teams like BYU have no chance of winning that league, and they're good. Iowa State at the beginning of the year was probably the best team in the country. By the way, they boat raced Purdue at Mackey by 25 when Purdue was number 1 in the country earlier in the year. And then Iowa State comes into the Big 12 and like, okay, Arizona, you're probably not going to. Houston is probably the best team I've seen in person this year. So that league to me is the best. And then the Big Ten, it sounds like, and I don't get too much into this stuff, it sounds like we've got more money and on older guys than anybody else. The bottom of the league this year in the Big Ten was the worst I'd ever seen it. I mean, I just thought the bottom of the league was just a gift. You play against these great teams, and then you get, Penn State or you get Northwestern, and you're winning those games most nights. Now, I don't know if you guys got to see Michigan in person this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could not believe in practice before the game how massive and athletic they are.
Yeah.
They are unbelievable to see in person. It's going to be interesting. The LJ getting hurt, the backup point guard who was playing great. The last time they were healthy, they destroyed Illinois at Illinois. And I mean, it wasn't even close. It could have been 40.
That's when I thought Illinois lacked. So it's funny you bring that game up, Jess, because we came back the next day and I said, Illinois just can't handle physicality. Like if you touch them, they don't like to chase
For
guys.
being reasonably big themselves.
But that's not how they wanted to play.
Physical.
They got worked.
It was, I mean, Brad Underwood, who is as tough as anybody, as you guys know. I mean, he waved the white flag in that one. He just, that thing was over early. And then after that game, two significant moments in the season for Brad Underwood. After the Nebraska game that he lost at the buzzer at home, he told his guys, if we're just going to get in shootouts with everybody, then we're going to have a good season, but we're going to be done after the first game of the NCAA tournament. So his guys flipped the switch after that one. And then after the Michigan game, he's been all over them about rebounding. Like, you're right. Like, how could that team, with all those weight room guys that they have, not be a very physical, tough team? They're getting better at that now. Against Houston, they're going to have to match up physicality. They've got the guys who can do it, but sometimes when you're such a dynamic offense, you're kind of ho-hum defensively. But Michigan woke them up that night.
All right, last one for me. I'll get you out on this. Another generic question. Are you surprised, or maybe not, kind of how you're talking with the level of physicality that the teams were kind of talking about at the top, the Michigans? We haven't yet to bring up Duke, big though. Arizona, big. But don't really rely on shooting the three. Of the 3 teams, nobody shoots it above, 35%, where making shots from distance isn't really their thing. It doesn't seem like it's popular to talk about in 2026, an aberration, or do you think coaches see a little bit of a blueprint?
Man, you guys are on your game today, man. This is unreal. I think it's an aberration.
Okay.
I think it's an aberration. I think it's still about the 3 ball, about the dynamic offenses and recruiting guys who can shoot. I mean, even the NBA level, if you can shoot it, they don't even hardly care if you can defend and pass. If you can shoot, you're going to get your shot. That's a weak answer, about the weakest answer of the morning. I think it's an aberration.
We've been talking about it all year. It's like, well, here comes St. John's. Well, they can't. They're not good.
Yeah.
They are.
Volleyball.
Okay.
Michigan State can't shoot it.
Can't shoot it at all.
Throw it in the ocean.
Right. Maybe you're onto something here. Yeah. Like, 10 of the 16 teams left can't shoot. Interesting.
I lied. I got one more just because you said
Michigan
State.
Yeah.
We were coming up with comps of guys that have to control the game and tempo. as much as a guy like Sturts does. Like who's on that level? It's got Fears is got to be slightly above Braden Smith because he has to do everything for those guys offensively.
Oh, you're not kidding. I mean,
they wouldn't score without him ever.
Right. And Izzo will tell you, right? I mean, I just talked to him, I don't know, a month ago, and he's like, look, they've got to overachieve as well. I mean, they don't have the dudes that other teams have, which is a little surprising with the resources they have and the mortgage broker owners they have, that are worth billions of dollars. But yeah, Fears is carrying, average talent to the Sweet 16. What's interesting about Michigan State is they were running a lot of high ball screens early to free him up. And because of the talent or lack of that they have, and it's not a criticism, it's just reality, right?
Yeah.
These defenses now with these ball screen defenses, they're blitzing doubling these ball screens, right? They're hedging hard, they're coming out, they're trapping. So they just started doing a lot more dribble handoffs with their bigs, at the elbows. So you're their big catches at the elbow and a horn set, and they just hand off to Spheres. And then you got your pick and roll set up anyway. But it's for that reason, because the handoffs are becoming more difficult to guard. But yeah, he's in that category. He's absolutely sensational. Can carry it. I'm still a little rattled that you're calling Super Dre Andy. That's the first time I've heard that. And I just talked to I've been in the locker room. I've been in the Andy. That's what you call him?
No, 99% of the time I say Dre.
Oh
I do.
Gosh.
Andy was back when he was going for 50 in high school in the championship.
So back when he was working Jason Kidd. He was better than Jason Kidd in high school a lot of nights.
That McDonald's, they were Valentinos back then. They were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Andy, Super Dre texted us all in this group chat about 6 months ago, and he's like recapping the glory days, which was all of us do, and right, that's the bond we all have. He's like, dudes, we did it. We did it, man. We got it done. And I'm like, if I drop Andy on the group chat, it's gonna blow the phone up.
He was back for Omaha days. He's still his biggest fan. That hasn't changed.
Wow.
Pretty boy swag.
Andre Woolridge, what a superstar that guy was. Wow.
What a bucket.
Wow. I remember the first day he came into the locker. I remember the first day I met him, he was kind of humbled. He was a little bit, he'd been set back. He couldn't transfer. He had to sit out. He was just, I remember one practice, the first year he could practice with us. The first year he was eligible to play, and Coach Davis, about 20 minutes into one practice, we'd been in the grind, and he was like, Jess and Andre, you guys be done early. Get out of here. Go rest your legs. You guys are working so hard. And we're like, are you serious? We were addicted to the gym. And so I go back in the locker room, put my clothes on. I sneak over to the rec center so that I could get more work in. Yeah. And who do you think had already beaten me over there to the court?
That's all he did. That's all he loved his craft. That's good stuff, Jess. We appreciate it, man. And we got to name drop more, man. We got a lot more coming than you think.
Man, hey, appreciate you guys. Great show. That was good stuff. That was a blessing, man. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic stuff. Appreciate you, Jess.
Yeah.
Great stuff there. That's Jess Settles, former Iowa basketball player and a college basketball analyst. It's a good conversation. I like Jess. That was a good talk.
I know I seem like a child, but remember, I'm old.
That's okay.
I'm very old.
It's all right. You and your friend Andy out there just hanging out, and
I get no cool points.
No, the funny thing,
what he would say, Benin. That's what he would call.
So the funny thing about that is it didn't even faze me, because I was like, I bet DB is the only person on the planet that calls him Andy. Like, as you said, that real time.
Hey, Andy.
And I was like, that's just kind of what DB does. Like, he comes up with his own little names for people, and it's cool, and nobody cares. It's good. Just assumed. I would guarantee I could count on one hand the number of people in his life that have ever called him Andy.
Well, Dre days didn't really start happening until he took off.
So maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I don't know if you can share this. This was a little before I was like super dialed in on college basketball. Mm-hmm. Why did he leave Nebraska?
Wasn't playing enough.
Just playing time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there
was there a path to playing time, or just he was impatient?
But that team was. Look at Nebraska. Pull up.
I got Woolridge up. So Nebraska 92, 93. So he was going to play behind.
Pull up the 92, 93 roster.
Okay, so 92, 93 roster for Nebraska was Pikowski, Chandler, Jamar Johnson, Bruce Chubbuck, Eric Strickland, Jaron Boone. So Boone probably would have been,
and Strickland, because they're all together now. Remember,
and Strickland was a freshman.
Strickland and Dre have
Badgett
history, like they played with and against each other. WS Benson. So that would be like me and Clinton.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Then go to the next year. Nice. So that's a good backcourt because that's Jamar Johnson.
Yeah.
Strick is playing. Boone had the good first year.
Badgett's in that group.
Well, Badgett's playing. He's playing like
forward?
A 4.
Okay.
Whose game changed dramatically. When in high school, Badge was a prolific scorer. He could score from anywhere on the court. He could shoot it from 25 feet. He could shoot it from 2.5 inches. He's going to cram on your head. His offensive game got away from him a little bit at Nebraska just because of how they played.
Mm-hmm.
But Badge could definitely score. We just didn't get to see it as much in college.
Funny is they switched in his, and this is just from sportsreference.com, but as a freshman, they had him listed as a guard. As a sophomore, they had him listed as a forward.
Yeah. He's big. I mean, Badge is 6'7".
They've got him at 6'6".
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, you got again Pikowski, Boone, Chubbuck.
I just saw him leaving. Not just. This is probably 3 weeks ago. His summer coach passed away.
Oh,
Coach Kenny. Yeah, look at the backcourt though in 93, 94.
Yeah, so that was it. Right? It was Pikowski, Boone, Chubbuck, or no, Chubbuck's big. Pikowski, Boone, Strickland, and Johnson.
And he wanted to. And Jamar was playing like that's Elkhart, Indiana's finest.
Yeah, I mean he's 11 and 4.5. He led the team in assists.
He was really good, a traditional point guard, and Dre hurt his knee.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do something different. We were floored.
That team was Big 8 tourney champs, 93, 94.
They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
They were so good.
That's a yeah. I mean, so I get it. I guess that's a good backcourt. That's
like
good
Chandler.
Backcourt.
That's Brandon. That's Brandon's dad. That's my nephew's dad.
Yeah.
That's why he's the biggest Benning of the bunch.
That makes
They
sense.
used to have the signs, DC SWAT team. Like those teams were legit.
Yeah.
And the year before that, 90, 91, they were coming off like Tony Farmer, Carl Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys were Clifford Scales, late 80s, early 90s. Those guys were really talented.
Yeah.
Dupreece Owens, we used to call him Dookie Draws.
Well, and you're coming off you're like 92, 93 is 2 years after the 3 seed in 91.
Yep.
Like that's
those
a really good
those
run.
guys were good, man.
Yeah. Nice.
They were good. Schmitty, I know you know him as like the color guy.
Yeah.
That staff got it in. Schmitty, Bargan.
Yeah.
Jimmy Williams, guys.
Well, he ended up in high school for a long time, didn't he?
He's at Southeast. Those guys could recruit.
Yeah. Maybe they were recruiting a little Southeast too. Who knows?
Keith Moody, that's my boy. Amazing Daniel, you would love Keith Moody.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get you home safe, but you'd love him.
Let's take a quick break here. We've got Mitch Sherman coming up at 9. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Really appreciate Jess Settles. That was a great conversation. We will be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live right after this.
March into savings at Edwards Chevrolet. Lease the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado RST starting at just $489 a month with 0 down and first payment due at signing. This is what March savings looks like. Or lease the 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer LS starting at just $289 a month with 0 down and first payment due at signing. Get to Edwards Chevrolet today. Together, let's drive. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Chevrolet GMC.
Yeah, first of all, I was so impressed with that game last night, really both games, and watching the Clemson game as well, just for how they really went out and got out to fast starts and controlled tempo in those games. And that's a really potent, powerful Florida team. And, the way Iowa played with their physicality was very, very impressive. And, held off that run. And, then Sturtz makes the big play to Fulgaris there to set up the final shot, the game-winning shot. And then it had a great stop on the other end. So just it's a team that's playing really well. I think they're playing their best stretch of basketball of the season right now. And, we're going to have a great couple days of preparation to get ourselves ready. We put the game plan in today. We're still waiting on our flight time, but most likely we'll practice here tomorrow morning and then make the flight down to Houston and just need to go out there and execute. This is a huge game for us. Their pressure, the way they guard defensively, they put you in really difficult positions offensively.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. But where I'm going to be on Thursday is what I want to talk to you more about now, and that's Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We will have live pre- and post-game shows for Nebraska basketball with myself and Austin Jacobson, and there is a boatload of specials at the bar. It is not just food, it's drinks and everything else. $15 domestic pitchers. You can build your own stadium nachos for $9, pretzel bites for $9 as well, and specialty drinks. We call them the Sweet 16-ouncer. Listen, they have an Iowa-themed one. Don't order that one. Get the Nebraska-themed one. It's basically a vodka strawberry lemonade with a little bit of pineapple in there as well. They're delicious and get you right in the mood for another.
Right up your alley.
Oh, man. Listen, you got to taste good, feel good, play good, and beat the hell out of Iowa. That's the plan on Thursday. But make sure you get out there. Game time's at 6:30. Pre-game starts at 6 at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, and then Austin and I will have post-game directly after as well to, knock on wood, don't want to jinx anything here, celebrate a Nebraska win and a trip to the final 8, or the final of the regional, the regional final against either Illinois or Houston. So that's where you need to be on Thursday, and we'll have a great old time. I don't know if you saw the videos from over the past weekend. It's a great place to watch Nebraska games. Those are games not DB, because DB likes to watch everything by himself, but those are games you like to watch with people. It's fun. That's a good atmosphere.
Those guys, how are you just walking around high-fiving everybody?
I didn't know any of those people. I'm just
clearly.
vibing.
My man is just like,
I had gone around and talked to some of them, beforehand, but
that's weird.
No,
we don't do that.
No, it's a good vibe, man.
What?
We were celebrating. Oh, you just want me to do fist bumps instead?
Right there.
All right.
Wait. Let's. Yeah, I don't know, man.
High fives. Slap hands.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll go fist bumps after the next one. Fist bumps.
And if they're strangers and it's kind of off to the side, just go here.
Just get a little boom, one of those.
Yeah.
Just,
side bump. Like you just pulled off your snap offs and
the warm ups.
Yeah.
Boom. This probably won't surprise you. I was the end of the line chest bump guy. Just a little. You all right? You got something in your throat?
Yeah.
A little tickle in your throat.
Tickle.
Make sure you come out to Hurrdat Sports Bar. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll have a great time watching Nebraska hoops.
Yeah, just feed me.
Well, that's why I'm
gonna build my own stadium nacho.
Yeah, they got meats in there. You can do whatever you want, man. Get some nachos. You're not a big nacho guy, though, are you?
I mean, I would eat them. I probably wouldn't consciously order.
It's not like your go-to.
No, I would not consciously order.
I'm a big nachos guy. I love nachos.
Have you noticed with like food costs that like like protein appetizers have disappeared?
Yes.
Like
yes, I have.
Not a lot of meat options on appetizers.
Yeah. I would say that's fair. Basically, the only appetizer you get that's primarily meat these days is wings.
Yeah.
If people consider that an appetizer, usually it's somewhere in between the appetizers and the
bone-in or
main
boneless.
entrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of other. Although I will say,
well, so have chicken strips now crossed from
that's
food cost standpoint to the entrees?
Yeah, that's an entree. The chicken strips are definitely an entree. I will say you got a lot of places, including the sports bar, that have like a dynamite shrimp is a thing. A lot of places.
Yeah.
And I like a dynamite shrimp.
I could see shrimp from a food cost standpoint because you can doctor it up.
It's not terrible.
And buy it in bulk. Like you could, I mean, even frozen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And not get crushed because nobody's using fresh shrimp for appetizers at a sports bar, right? It's
probably not
too costly.
Yeah, and shrimp won't kill you on cost.
It won't kill you at all, even if you don't refrigerate it.
We're not going to give out medical advice here, DB, because that's bad advice.
No, my medical advice is sound. Food storage
is questionable at best. I'm just saying the lack of cleanliness of not being able to store shellfish correctly,
like that,
was such a problem that they literally put it in the Bible.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to recommend we don't.
They also didn't have refrigerators either. That's what salt is for. Oh, I didn't salt my pizza.
I'm pretty confident that was not the issue here. You know,
I don't even know why they call them appetizers. 60% of them are the same price as entrees. Do you guys? So having said this, because there'll be a lot of people out, and I will caution you folks that are going to be temporary Houstonians, you will be surprised by the food cost. They are high. So if you want to save,
especially downtown.
If you want to save a little,
yeah, especially downtown,
you're gonna be like, huh?
Yeah.
If you want to save a little money, either get your Dash Pass and order fast food, or just stop at the local grocery store, get you some sandwiches, couple loaves of bread, some deli meat, go old school. You know, like going on a picnic.
You know, just take a little.
The food costs are high.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Houston's not. It's cheaper than the coast, but it's more expensive than Omaha for sure.
Hey, do they still have Hungry Jack? Where's the closest Hungry Jack?
Is that a restaurant? I thought those were meals. I thought those were frozen meals. Hungry Jack are frozen meals.
No.
Are you talking about Jack in the Box?
No. Come on, man. It's me.
Hungry Jack is the name of like a frozen meal.
No,
right?
Hungry.
It's Hungry Man.
Hungry
Man is the frozen meals.
No, Hungry Jacks. Come on, you guys. What is that? Don't mess with me.
Oh, that looks like a knockoff Burger King.
Yeah.
Like it's the same logo and everything.
They're in Texas. I thought Houston used to have one.
They might. I've never been to one of those. I've been to Tyga says Hungry Jack is Australian Burger King. And Travis and Funky are right. HEB is the go-to grocery store down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who said that? Travis
Funky and Travis, yeah.
Yeah, so
I used to roll up to HEB with my sister all the time.
So I'm going to go closest to me. Where's the closest Hungry Jacks?
Because I used to, this was before you knew me, but like when I was younger, I'd go down to Houston. I'd just spend a month down there with my sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I would spend a lot of time down there.
Yeah.
My oldest sister and I are pretty close. And so like we would, I would spend either like all of my Christmas break during college, or there were summers I would just spend 4 to 6 weeks down there with her and just hang out in Houston for half the summer.
Yeah, I'm not recommending anybody to go eat fast food, but they did used to have them, and there were some in Texas.
Yeah, I think HEB is a good option if you're trying to kind of keep costs down a little bit, especially if you're flying down there. It's a little expensive. Cornflicted said crawfish season at HEB.
Oh, that's Cactus Jack's,
dude. Crawfish is huge down there.
Yeah, well, you're by the Gulf.
Yeah, it's a big deal down there. I'm not a big crawfish guy. It's a lot of work for not a lot of meat. You know what I'm saying?
It's like eating shrimp.
No big deal.
No, I don't have to like.
Aren't you a dirty bottom feeder guy?
I'm not
big catfish guy.
Shrimp isn't a lot of work.
No, but they're bottom feeders.
That's fine. I'm not a catfish guy.
Shrimp at some point had a head.
That's fine, but I don't have to deal with that. With crawfish, they give it to you with the head still on most of the time.
Yeah. No, listen, don't let me hold you. Like
You're the guy that's out on crab legs because they're too much work.
I'm out on, for what they are.
That's what I mean about.
Yeah, but
that's
crawfish, you get big crawfish. It's just, for me, it's not that they're too much work. I just don't want my food looking at me.
That's true. I'm not trying to get faces.
Yeah. Like, if it's good, I mean, I'll get to it because I just take the shell off. But I don't, no.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I don't need my food where I could say, what are you looking at?
I'll be honest.
I don't need fish with the head on. I don't need any of that.
That's how I kind of felt when you took me to the beef processing plant. Like I was cool till we got to the heads, man.
I know.
I wasn't a huge fan of that.
I know.
I think I went. I think when we came out, I was like, I could have done without that part, DB.
Yeah, it did a little to me.
I'll be honest. I did better there than I thought I would.
You did.
I was concerned.
You were fantastic.
Yeah, like it didn't. Most of it did not bother me as much as I thought it would.
I got my knives sharpened too, so I'm
did
ready.
You?
I'm ready
that's
for
good.
some more.
Where'd you get them sharpened?
An in-home guy.
Oh, they came and did it. Because I only know of one place that like you can go and.
I got 9 blades done and 1 baby blade.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I sharpened a red knife. Like they shouldn't even be in our house. I'm just gonna say that right now. But so it's little, but it was. I think it was $71.
Oh, that's not terrible. Yeah, I only know of one place.
And he picked them up.
Oh, he picked him up, went and did it, and brought him back. Mm-hmm. That's nice. That's good service.
Yeah, he's like my dude now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, oh, these are some cool knives. I was like, yeah, they were gifts.
I
didn't. They were gifts.
Yeah,
I only bought like 2 of the knives that he.
Did you? Was it like a gift as a set or like individual?
Individual. So I just kept kind of procuring them because it's weird.
You know what
you're
brand
gonna,
they are?
This isn't. Don't go serial killer on me because this is not what this is about.
I'll do my best.
This is about cutting primal cuts of meat.
I can't. I'll do my.
A lot
best.
of Kalinas, and I can't remember what the other 2 are, but one is like I finally have a long. I can either bone or fillet it.
Mm-hmm.
Where if I want to cut fat, like when I trim that tri-tip, it is sensational. It's a 9-incher, and it's a beauty. It's almost all blade, very little handle.
Yeah,
and I can just let the knife do the work. You know, like I get meat from the bone. I just debone. Easy. I'm not crazy, and I wouldn't do it to anybody's skin, but I just debone like 9 thighs.
Yeah,
and I could do it fast. Just pull, pull. Oh, no, that's good. Yeah, he's a young guy too. Probably in his 40s, I'd guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papados. So TJ, that's what I was saying. If you get stuck in the airport at Houston, go to Papados.
Yeah, Papados is good.
Just go to Papados. It's one of the better chains in the country.
My sister's helping me put together a list of recommendations for our crew that's headed down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a few too.
Yeah.
Can I be involved?
Absolutely, yeah.
She and I may have different taste buds though.
Maybe, yeah. Although she seasons her food.
Okay. Does she like meat? Well, she
likes meat. She doesn't like chicken that much, but she likes beef. Beef and pork.
Do I look like a guy that likes chicken?
You tell me all the time you like chicken.
Are you sure?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, maybe.
Okay. I just wonder why that was your.
Because that's the one she doesn't like. You asked if she likes meat, and she doesn't like chicken.
Okay, she likes seafood though, right?
She's a hit and miss on seafood. Depends on what it is.
She's in Houston.
So she loves sushi, but I think she's like me. I think she likes your shellfish, but not your like fish. I think, if I remember correctly.
It's traumatizing.
Well, you're always talking about wings.
Lee, I don't know. Like, Lee, you probably have a better job than I do, although I probably like mine more. But there's a significant price difference in already prepared boneless thighs versus
bone-in.
Bone-in.
And Jax is saying...
I cook my own skins.
Jack's saying the news is telling you that you have a 6-hour wait in Houston. So maybe we're driving.
Dude, Jack is on. I'm not fearing. I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm not, because people probably already booked their flights.
Just give yourself plenty of time.
It's a nightmare. Like flying right now is not. Just look at all the places they deported ICE agents.
I don't know, unless they're scanning and checking. I don't know why they're there unless it's for unruly patrons.
I don't know. I don't know if it's crowd control or what.
But I did tell you, like I'll Google the pictures from TSA LaGuardia on Sunday. Your boy was in the middle of it. And the first thing I told Ravi when I came back, you guys, it is amazing how few people they had to keep you in line because you had to
self-police.
You had to self-police. The lines were kind of made up. You knew where they were and the direction they were moving, but you're only really stopped by your own conscience.
Yeah, by your own self-control.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was their anxiety was at a high level.
So give yourself plenty of time.
6 hours, Cactus Jack.
So this is what I was talking about with Hobby versus IAH, which is Intercontinental. Funky Gibla says current wait time at Hobby is about 7 minutes. It's a much less busy airport.
Yeah.
If you can fly into Hobby, I would fly into Hobby.
Yeah, but they're specific to their airlines.
Yeah, Southwest is I think the only one that flies into Hobby.
Yeah, that's it.
So I would get on the website in a hurry, guys. You're gonna have to make a stop though if you're flying out Wednesday because the nonstops are sold out.
Boy, so Phantom and JD have some similar dispositions, except Phantom's a little more lighthearted, but they both go hard.
Yeah, well, they've been going after each other in the chat today.
Well, Phantom ain't going anywhere. I'm just telling you, like he's relentless. So
Jack says he's driving to Houston.
So
From Tennessee, that's probably a pretty long drive still. That's got to be 10 hours still, doesn't it?
Dude, Jack, do you have – I'm not all in your business, Jack, but do you strike me as a pickup truck guy?
Oh, Paul says American flies to Hobby now too. So that's good. I don't think they have a nonstop, but it'll give you a couple options. I think this is my personal opinion, having gone to Houston quite a bit. I think you're better off flying into Hobby in terms of what's going on with the TSA right now. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I just take it from somebody who was at the most publicized debacle, right? The place where a plane hit a fire truck.
Not great.
The experiences, I'm not exaggerating, and listen, I can endure just about anything. Like, right? Like, come out of the back end of a lot of drama. Like, I am not exaggerating about. It's certainly anxious and chaotic, but it can be dangerous if people don't behave themselves.
Yeah. That could get out of hand.
Because people get so upset.
Well, yeah, you have a lot of them. And it's a stressful, traveling stressful anyway.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot going on. Jack says he traded in the truck for a Yukon. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Yukons are nice.
Hard.
Shoot, man, I'm telling you, Jack, before the summer's over, you watch. I'm going to see Jack.
DJ says
I'm going to send you pictures from being out on the just sitting out there. If he'll have me, I know it's peaceful out there.
I'd rather have a sister working at a house
and he cooks with a skillet. I know he knows what he's doing.
DJ says, heck, maybe fly to Dallas or Austin. Problem with Dallas is that's another 4 hours.
And yeah, man.
That's
the drive.
It's not a great drive.
No, I don't do that.
I wouldn't do that.
If I
you're
was going to drive
that
anywhere,
far, just drive.
Yeah, but I would maybe think about driving to KC and flying out. That's what Caleb had to do to get out to Florida.
Yeah, I don't know how much that helps you.
I know.
Listen, man,
because
MCI is gonna be busier than Epley. You just might have more options for flights.
Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. Hey, by the way, are you guys taking any batting practice? Like, can I come? I need to come hit. By the way, bring that bat tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Remind me.
DG, $525, cheapest ticket from Sarasota. Oh, by the way, Coach Grant.
We're at about $500 for cheapest flight from here to Houston as well.
By the way, Coach Grant, the wide receiver you told me about from Venice is we had the right guy because he short story long. He's like, hey, Nebraska, I think Nebraska's coming down tomorrow. I said, oh, who are they looking at? This was about 2 months ago. And he said, well, it could be this guy, or this guy. And he was right on one of the guys. And as a matter of fact, I think he's coming this weekend for the spring game.
There you go. Let's take a quick break here. We will be joined by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic coming up next.
Flying to College Station and driving to Houston.
That's about 2. It's about 2 hours from there. I don't know what the College Station airport's like. Yeah, I've driven to Bryan, which is the sister city there. So I've never flown in there though. So can't give you any advice on the College Station Airport. That is DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be right back to talk to Mitch Sherman from The Athletic here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
March into savings at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum starting at just $339 a month. A premium ride at an unbeatable price. Drive away with more this spring. Or save $2,650 on the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. Plus, finance at just 2.9% for 72 months. Don't wait. March into savings right now at Edwards Nissan. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
It was those extra points, and so anytime you have that, now we've come back after losing one of those and have won matches, after that, but it is kind of a, it takes a little wind out of the sails, and it was going back and forth, and, that was a well-fought match. It's exciting. I love that part of volleyball. I think it's why fans enjoy it so much too. It's just the knockdown, drag out every single point, and you're waiting to see what happens. So great match. I think that they came away with that, and it could have been anybody's at that point, but the Novas won that, and just wanted to respond in game 2 a little bit better.
It's always a great crowd here. They really love their volleyball, so it's always a cool environment to play in.
She even had some girls giving her signs at the end there, so she had a fan base there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, volleyball has given me best friends in life, and I feel like the friendships always stay the same. So it's wonderful to see old teammates, and those friends are going to last the rest of your life, not just while we're playing volleyball right now.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Very subdued. Very well. Mitch, I have one question. It's kind of random, but on the heels of a baseball game tonight, maybe not. If you were going to play in an old man's league tomorrow, right? You can coach in, you throw.
I know about this.
Okay.
I know about this situation.
So, would you be more concerned about you personally hitting or your arm throwing?
What position are you playing?
So I think they think I'm pretty good, so I could maybe do anything except pitch.
For me, I'm left-handed, so if I was playing defense, I'd be playing first base, so I wouldn't be concerned about my arm. You asked for me. I would definitely be most concerned about my hitting, because it's a it's an art form that you have to keep your tool sharp in order to succeed. If you for me, again, I haven't done it in a while, a long time, against an actual pitcher, and it would take some adjusting, like more than one day of adjusting. So I'd be most worried about that.
Speaking of worry, Mitch, I assume, are you going to be a temporary Houstonian?
No, man. I'm speaking of baseball, I'm going to be watching my kid play baseball, play high school baseball. No, I really haven't traveled for basketball. I was not in Oklahoma City. The Athletics got our primarily basketball people at those sites. You should follow CJ Moore. This week he'll be in Houston for the Big Ten Houston invite. And I will say, if Nebraska finds a way to escape this weekend, we have the unthinkable next week with the team going to Indianapolis. I will push hard to make that trip.
Interesting. I want to stay. Let me go right back to baseball again real quick before we get on basketball.
Talk the whole time about baseball. Yes.
I'm almost so Mitch, I'm not basketballed out, but we still have 2 days. And I think, people, between being worried about travel and people getting into a fervor about hating Iowa so much, I'm just trying to space it out. But for baseball right now, is they got another midweek game. They're playing well. Top 25 in almost every poll. Is this about what you thought, or with all the questions with the moving parts, are they ahead of expectations?
I didn't have expectations. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I knew there were pieces like Carey and Overbeek and others who were coming back, but I didn't know. I didn't know what these freshmen were going to be like. I didn't know what the transfers were going to be like. In football, we spend, and even in basketball to some degree, we spend the entire offseason learning about the roster and talking to these players and their coaches, and that's just not how I operate with college baseball. So I just went into the season with a totally open mind and knowing about a few players on that roster and watched them in whatever way that I could in their weeks on the road. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with the progress that they've made. I think they're a much better team right now and have gained confidence, as you'd expect from playing for a while at home. It just gives you that than what we saw when they played Stanford or went to Auburn and played those final 2 games of that series. They seem to have some it qualities, some special traits, competitiveness, good leadership. Like when you see teams consistently scoring a bunch of runs in late innings, that's great. I was watching the game on Sunday with my son when Childress made a pitching change in the 6th inning, and the bases were loaded, 1 out in a 1-1 game. And, we just like to talk baseball as we're watching. And I said, let's see what happens here with this reliever. If he goes 2-0 on this first guy, they're going to lose the game. And he didn't, but then he hit the batter with like a 2-1 pitch, which is just as bad, if not worse. It might've been a 2-strike pitch. I just wanted to see Nebraska's competitiveness coming out of the bullpen, because I think that's been an issue at times in the past. Are they going to come in and attack, or are they going to try to, get strikes on the corners in these important Big Ten games? And they failed in that situation to do what I thought Nebraska needed to do to win the game. And yet they still won the game. They still won the game in a different way than what you'd expect. They gave up some runs in that inning, and then they came back and scored. I think the first pitch of the next inning for Nebraska to Nebraska offensively was a home run. And they stayed aggressive at the plate and finally just overwhelmed Michigan in the 9th inning, which was impressive to see. So there's some different things about this team, kind of the way that they're attacking the midweek and some of the stuff we've seen in the late innings that makes me really excited to see what's going to happen over the next month plus here.
Do you think you've learned enough about just in terms of quality of opponents in this early part of the season? I guess we're, a little over a third of the way through the season now, almost half, I guess. You feel like you've learned enough from the quality of opponents and what we've seen from Nebraska to feel good about what's going to translate through the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean the series that Nebraska has against Oregon on the road and then USC at home. This is an oversimplification, but that's going to determine their fate. Like that's going to set the tone for everything that happens the rest of the way. Now I say that and like they can't go 0-5 in the midweek. And I think it's really smart what they've done with Cooper Katsky this year to like set a different tone and like show that they truly do value the games outside of the Big Ten. Like if you're in the SEC or the Big 12, you don't really need to do that, but the Big Ten is a different animal and it's changing. It's changing because of UCLA and USC and Oregon, but UCLA is not on Nebraska's regular season schedule this year. So you're not going to get that RPI bump. You will, and with the other two West Coast teams. Is it enough where if you can just go 4-2 or 5-1 in those 5-1's unrealistic maybe, but win those series that's going to be enough to put you in a good position to try to host, which is ultimately what Nebraska wants. Like Nebraska doesn't just want to be in the NCAA regionals. Nebraska wants to be in a position to host. And, they're on the outside looking in right now, but a really solid next month and a half that includes taking care of business in the midweek and winning those series against the top teams that are playing in the Big Ten, and they can get there.
How about what an early year for the sports calendar because softball's on a heater. They've won like 13 in a row. They got UCLA coming.
They're fun to watch.
Baseball, they are. And Alexis has been everything I was hoping for. Watching her in high school. Well, shoot, right there in your backyard, Mitch.
I smile because I saw her play in third grade and on the basketball court.
Yeah, like she did an interview, and I actually had Jess send it to me because I have weird. I know you're like, you have trouble finding things on Huskers.com. Yeah, I couldn't go back and get the interview, so she sent it to me individually. She's exactly how I envisioned watching her in high school in her interviews. She was an absolute joy. So we've got softball.
Yeah, she's got a chance to be one of those kind of athletes that just like transcends the sport.
Because
I know she does these food reviews that are really funny. Like doesn't take herself too seriously. And
she does TikTok. She did the interview with Jess in a toque. Like she had this little snow hat on, and I mean she's just like living her best life.
That's why she's what she is. That's why she can go out and play with that kind of joy and that kind of like constant aggressiveness and intensity, because she's not wired like I think a lot of high school athletes that come out of the state of Nebraska. And I don't think it's exclusive to Nebraska, but it might be somewhat exclusive to this part of the country. Kids that are just so hard on themselves. And I don't know why it's more like that here than it is in other places, but I've seen it long enough to know that it is. And she's not like that. Like if she gives up a home run, like in her mind, she's striking out the next 10 people.
Interesting. Nice stretcher for the batting and for the late grade Adrian Friala the bat ball sport of softball and
ball.
baseball.
It's a ball bat. I think
ball bat. That's it. It's ball bat. Good. Yes. Thank you. When I first was hearing that, I was like,
"What are you doing?"
It's like, well, I had to grow up a little. I mean, I'm kind of when it comes to that sport. I'm a little bit of a donk purist, right? I'm already stressing, Mitch, because I no longer
just
wear
the ball bat sport period, or are you talking about softball? Because I'm a purist with baseball, but a novice with softball.
Yeah, baseball, just baseball. Even though I do love softball.
Yeah.
I'm stressing, Mitch, over because I don't wear hats anymore. And if everybody in my baseball league is wearing hats, I'm insecure, Mitch.
I can find out for you if you want me to get the information and like pass it to you secretly.
Yeah,
I can do that. There might be some non-hatted players in the 50.
I'm going to ask JK. I'm going to be like, hey, buddy, like, does everybody wear hats? Because I don't.
DB,
what?
I think you probably want to wear a hat.
DB, listen, DB. I'm here because I care about you. It's baseball. Wear the damn hat.
Oh God! But see how he talks to me, Mitch.
Like, what are we doing? You're a baseball purist. You're like, I don't want to wear a hat.
I said I was.
Says the guy wearing the backwards hat right now. Like, put it on the right way.
Yeah.
And then,
listen, I grew up in the Ken Griffey Jr. era. This is the right way.
Air depth.
You're not 14.
You know why I wear it backwards on the air? It's so that it doesn't block. Like Sasha gets mad when the bill blocks my face.
I understand. I can understand that.
Yeah, and she's a crab apple, so we're gonna leave that there. All right, let me transition to hoops, Mitch. Even though I'm chomping at the bit to get the football, because everybody apparently doesn't know that there's a spring game this weekend. But realistically, I mean, listen, tight spread. It's Iowa. You look at the path. It's doable. Have you allowed yourself? And I get it. You got to remain as objective as you can and pull back, but. Are you seeing micro still, or can you see the macro?
I can see macro when it comes to the impact that this March is going to have on the entire program. I'm not looking at it macro like, hey, Nebraska can be 40 minutes from the Final Four in 72 hours from now. I don't think it's realistic to overlook Iowa. They just beat the number 1 seed. They're playing their best basketball at the right time and are a really tough matchup for Nebraska because of how physical and great they are at rebounding the ball. I do wonder about the NCAA tournament environment. I don't mean the fan environment. I mean, it's just like the way that basketball is played in the tournament. It seems to me, and that officials tend to call these games a little tighter, and that probably favors Nebraska in this matchup. You could see Iowa, not allowed to get away with some of the stuff that happened, certainly in the game in Iowa City with the way that they restricted Price Sanford. But it could work either way, and maybe they'll get a crew that is not calling the game tight. But I'm not thinking like, all right, here we go, bring on Houston or Illinois. But I am thinking about it in like a larger macro sense, like. This is going to have are people really considering the kind of impact that this is going to have next year, in the year after, and like what Nebraska can do to build on this and make it so this is not like you're not going to be looking up, if things work right, you're not going to be looking up at that banner in the arena in 10 years and go, wow, that was so amazing that we got to experience that one time.
Mitch, when you're talking about the impact of the program in the future, which I agree with you, I think could be enormous. How much difference do you think? Obviously, a Final Four is a totally different animal that puts you in another category, right? But let's say that they're in the Sweet 16. Maybe they beat Iowa, maybe they don't. But let's say they get to the Elite Eight. Like, is most of the impact for the future, do you think, already in motion because of the success and the storyline they've already become?
Yeah, I mean, they've been building this for a while. Like at Iowa, it's a little bit different. I mean, it's in motion there too, but they started this a year ago, or a little less than a year ago, and boom, here they are. Like they threw together a roster like you had to in that situation. But at Nebraska, like this is a part of a longer term plan, like that goes back to Sam Griesel and Emmanuel Bandamel, even deeper back into Nebraska's past than that. So like they're just at the next step, and it blew up. Like they struck oil here. They struck gold with this last scoop of the shovel, but they're definitely in the like they haven't stopped building because they had success this season. If anything, it's accelerated their thoughts about what can happen next. And I'm sure, much like he did last year in the postseason, different kind of postseason, lower stakes, but same coach. And much like, and that he's so level-headed. And I liked his joke yesterday about how he has to stay that way because of maybe it's not a joke, because of his heart medication. That Fred Hoiberg is while he's prepping for Iowa and looking at the Sweet 16 and getting his team ready for this weekend, he's also thinking about what he's got to be doing to build a team for next year. You just have to. It's the reality of it. It's not as bad in basketball as it is in football in the month of December when teams are plotting to win a national championship and they're spending 50% of their time on the transfer portal. But they're definitely looking at it. They're definitely he's directing people to begin to have communications and they're absolutely, like, I would say that the build for the future has only been accelerated by what's happened here this month. Not just this month, but the last 4 months.
Mitch, when you're we were talking with Jess Settles earlier, and he's at Iowa the same time you were at Nebraska, and we were at Nebraska. And I asked him if he ever could foresee like the rivalry getting to where it is now between these fan bases, and he couldn't. He talked about kind of conceding football in the 90s, and then in basketball, just without being in the conference until 2013, it took a little time. But to that point, this has taken off exponentially.
Yeah,
between the fan bases. Are you glad that for me, I'm glad that Nebraska's finally kind of embracing like the vitriol, and it's okay, because I thought that Iowa has kind of always hated us, and we were just kind of like, but the more they keep winning, it's like you probably got to put your hands up and fight back a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a perfect storm, I think, in that sense, and I really got that feeling on March 8th when Iowa came to PBA, that the intensity level, but the intensity emanating from the Nebraska fans was at a different level than what I had seen really in either one of the primary sports where they go at each other's throats. Yeah, there have been moments for sure in football, but in football, like Nebraska fans were really angry, I think, and wanted revenge after the game in 2024 in Iowa City, the handshake game or no handshake game. And then you have to wait another year. And by the time you got a whole year down the road, like Nebraska had been through all that it went through, and like the air was out of the sails in late November of this year, and it didn't create like the perfect storm for everybody to come into that game. I mean, you're fired up, but not fired up in the same way that Nebraska basketball fans were when its team, enjoying this incredible season, went to Iowa City on February 17th, and you had the court storm and the incident with Fred after the game, and just a lot of chippiness and physicality, and what you would hope to see from two schools and two programs and two athletic departments that are growing to really not like each other on a new level. And then 3 weeks later, you get the game in Lincoln, and that was the most intense that I've felt, the passion from Nebraska fans as it related directly to Iowa. Some of it had to do with senior day and all of that, but I think if that game had been the second to last home game, it would have been pretty similar with the way that everybody reacted. And Troy Dannon in that game kind of calling off the let's be nice. You can basically, you can do whatever you want to do in this game. Just don't throw things at them. Don't come on the court.
Don't do anything that will get us teed up, basically.
Right. And Nebraska fans took it to heart.
Mitch, are you in the camp of Iowa is playing particularly well right now? I mean, obviously the beating of Florida is a huge deal. Or are you more in the camp of Iowa was a uniquely challenging matchup for a Florida team that hasn't faced them before, or somewhere in between?
I think Florida probably looked at Iowa and said, okay, this is going to be we can get through this. Like, this is not, we don't have to, we're going to come out and have some fun. I think Florida didn't take Iowa seriously enough. And that's not to take anything away from Iowa, because Iowa was ready for the moment and was the more physical team. And the fact that Iowa out-rebounded Florida, it was even, I believe, in the total rebounds, and Iowa had the edge on the offensive glass. Florida's been the best rebounding team in college basketball all season. Mm-hmm. And you see that height, even with the 7'9" guy on the bench, never playing, they're huge. And Iowa's not, and still just won it with sheer will. So yeah, I mean, some of it I think is what you say, Ravi, that like Florida wasn't ready for what Iowa was going to bring. Didn't think the punch was going to be quite that strong, but I don't want to take credit away from, and they certainly deserve a lot of credit. Like, they still had to play very well, even with maybe Florida in the wrong frame of mind. Florida's still one of the 5 most talented teams in the country, and Iowa is not. So you got to do a lot to win that game. I will stand by what I said. I think they're playing their best basketball of the season.
Mitch, let me transition here quick to football, and You know me, I'm super hokey and cheesy and all those other dumb things about from a fan perspective where I want this symbiotic relationship. I feel a little basketball versus football, especially with basketball success and then the spring game timing. I don't want it to be like that. I mean, people are going to have their sorts of feelings, but the spring game, for what it is for Nebraska football, they don't have to apologize. Should they, or do they not have to apologize for its level of importance to their program?
No, I mean, I think there are factions out there that want to make this about like a football versus basketball thing, and there are some basketball specific fans, which is kind of an odd bunch of people that like, are basketball purists and feel that they shouldn't, that the football is in some way like beneath their the step that they're on, and they've stayed quiet for years and years, and now's their chance to stick out their chest. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's just like a vibe from a small percentage, and that's not. I think that's whatever. Like it's going to exist, but I think it's a very small minority, and the success that the basketball program is having should only serve to help football because it's bringing attention to Nebraska sports. I don't think it should or really truly is outside of a very small percentage. Like a football, it's like it's not one or the other. Like you can support both. For years and years and years, football has carried the huge burden of being the program that leads the way with everything, with bringing attention. Even when football was struggling to win games on the field, it was still bringing the vast majority of attention to Nebraska athletics. And it will continue to be like that for the majority of the calendar year. But right now in this moment, that's not the case. It's the basketball program, and football does not need to apologize for that. The football program is fine in this moment, sitting in the shadows. It's not going to be that way for very much longer. At a maximum, a couple of more weeks, and then we'll be in an off season for both teams. And slowly or quickly, the attention will shift right back on football, and we'll be back in a position where it's a Tuesday in July, and we're talking all about, what this position or that position on the football field. Like basketball can have its moment, and basketball can continue to progress and move forward and make runs in the NCAA tournament. But we're not going to change the fact that like this is a football dominated state. And like the great thing is Fred Hoiberg's totally understanding of that and is on board with it because he knows the advantages that it creates for basketball to have football bringing in the attention that it does.
Mitch, when you're, it's a weird way to ask this question, I guess, but when you're looking at the success of basketball, of volleyball, of some of the other sports at the university, like, do you think that helps at all? Because for so long around here, it felt like, and with the exception of mostly volleyball, it felt like so much of the attention was always on Nebraska. It's been a relatively quiet offseason. Do you think eyeballs being somewhere else as Nebraska is trying to get some work done on the football side of things, do you think that helps at all?
Sure, it can in the short term, in the moment. It's not going to make any difference really. Like come August and the first week of September, it's still going to be as intense as ever with the attention on football. But yeah, I mean, I think it does. I think that was the hope for Matt Rule in going into this offseason, really starting in December after the Iowa game, was to just like bring down some of the hype a notch and just try to function in the shadows a bit as much as they possibly can. And he could have never envisioned, I'm sure he hoped, like he absolutely is excited for the basketball team, but it has a benefit for him in multiple ways. And one of those is that it gets people to not focus on, what are some negative feelings around football. Like there's no way to change that. Like he can come out and and perfectly handle a press conference or perfectly handle a spring game. And there are a decent percentage of Nebraska football fans that are going to choose to look at it right now from a glass half empty perspective. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't he say that? Like, it's just how it is. Like, that's the season ended the way that it did, and it was disappointing, and you can't necessarily change some of those feelings until you go out and show it next year. So you're going to do whatever you can to get through this offseason without drawing too much attention to anything that can be spun in a negative way, because the players feel that it impacts them indirectly and sometimes directly. And he's been dealt some cards that have given him a leg up there because of what the basketball team is doing. But again, like I think in a couple of months, we're going to be right back where we normally are in this state with all of the over analysis of whatever is going on with Matt Rule's program. We're just not doing that this week, which is interesting, but it's understandable.
Which is 1 week less than we'd be doing it the rest of the time. So that's got to be something. Mitch, we appreciate the time. As always, great stuff. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. That
is Mitch Sherman from The Athletic, back in the man cave like he used to be.
Yeah, we like that. Tuesdays.
Good setup.
Not bad.
Tuesdays with Mitch.
Tuesdays with Mitch means we get Mitch in the basement.
Yeah. It's nice. He's got a nice little bar set up there.
I know. I wonder what's
on the shelf.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get him to pan.
Do you think he does? You think he does like he's got like his well, and then like mid shelf, then top shelf?
Oh, now wouldn't that be something?
I don't think it is.
I don't think he would do well.
Probably not. I mean, if it's at your house, unless you like mixed drinks.
Yeah.
I know you don't mix alcohol, which is fine. But like if you're somebody that likes cocktails or something, you might have a kind of a well option, so you're not, as you say, wasting alcohol.
You're not using like.
You don't want to use like Casa Azul and like a margarita. You know what I mean? Like,
oh gosh,
what I'm saying?
Just a thought. Hey, you got any butterfly cannon reposado to put in this margarita?
I feel like you would hit someone. I feel like you would strike them.
That would be a travesty.
Come on, man.
I looked at my barber sideways when he put pineapple juice in his 1942.
Ooh, that's aggressive.
I can't remember what it is.
1942?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
I was like, what do you mean? You can't remember like what the drink he was making?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's this little swank spot downtown.
What's 1942?
It's Don Julio. It's a very high end tequila.
Okay.
Higher end.
Yes. I prefer butterfly cannon.
Yeah.
Like
every day that ends in Y.
That's probably the best tequila I've ever had, I think.
It's up there.
I would take it. I think
Ravi.
I like Casa Azul. I think there's a little more hype around that one than there is Butterfly Cannon.
It's up there.
But Butterfly Cannon's really good.
I've learned to. I used to be a Silver Blanco guy. I have just over the last 3 years.
You've been going Reposado a lot lately.
Entertain significantly more Reposados.
I'll go Blanco or Reposado.
The most affordable good tequila I think in this area is probably Lalo.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because you're not gonna get cracked.
Yeah, Lalo's not expensive.
I mean, it's in the 40s.
Yeah, it's like I would say like $40 a bottle, which is pretty reasonable for. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It would be what I would call it's
like you're not literally, no judgment if you do, but it's like it'd be like your daily wear, like you're like regular.
Yeah, like a Tito's.
Yeah, like your go-to.
The Tito's vodka equivalent.
Yeah, that would be like
because I don't know any of the Browns. We were walking through the airport and Queen was trying not to choke people, so we were just looking to see, because sometimes you would pass lines. You would be in a line and you would pass a bar or a restaurant, but you didn't want to get out of line.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like we were just joking. We're like, would we go ask somebody that's like 20 paces ahead of us to order, and then by the time we got there, it would be ready.
You gotta send a runner.
But almost all the top shelves in airports where everything was brown. And I was like, see, you discriminating against the clears, man. But I would think nationally it's just much more prevalent that people prefer browns
over clears.
I think so. I mean, especially like whiskey and bourbon are having like their moment, you know. Although I will say tequila is in the last handful of years has become a much more common thing that people are gravitating towards. But let's take a quick break here. We'll come back. We've got you sent over an interesting list last night that I want to get to.
And I didn't know if it was somebody's got to be last, but I didn't like
the order much. I didn't like the order much at all. That's we'll get to that coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
March into savings at Edwards Chevrolet. Lease the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado RST starting at just $489 a month with zero down and first payment due at signing. This is what March savings looks like. Or lease the 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer LS starting at just $289 a month with zero down and first payment due at signing. Get to Edwards Chevrolet today. Together, let's drive. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Chevrolet GMC.
Yeah, first of all, I was so impressed with that game last night, really both games, and watching the Clemson game as well, just for how they really went out and got out to fast starts and controlled tempo in those games. And that's a really potent, powerful Florida team. And, you know, the way Iowa played with their physicality was very, very impressive. And, you know, held off that run. And, you know, then Sturts makes the big play to Fulgaris there to set up the final shot, the game-winning shot. And then it had a great stop on the other end. So just it's a team that's playing really well. I think they're playing their best stretch of basketball of the season right now. And, you know, we're going to have a great couple days of preparation to get ourselves ready. We put the game plan in today. We're still waiting on our flight time, but most likely we'll practice here tomorrow morning and then make the flight down to Houston and just need to go out there and execute. This is a huge game for us. You know, their pressure, the way they guard defensively, they put you in really difficult positions offensively.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Wanted to tell you, I teased you about a little something yesterday. Wanted to tell you about something that we're launching this week. You can actually sign up today. I'm about to tweet it out as soon as I finish reading this. You're not saying words out loud there, Sasha. I can't. You're not helping me out at all here.
I was just gonna say I'll text Damon since he doesn't
Yes.
have the link in Teams.
Yeah, we'll get Damon the link out as well. It'll be on both mine and Damon's socials. But we're launching the Hurrdat Sports Live VIP membership, and here's what you're gonna get. It's $5 a month. We've done this because, as I mentioned yesterday, there's certain things that we can't really do in this format that we'll be able to do in that format, and that includes weekly film breakdowns. We've got a whole series planned of not only for the spring game, but getting into some San Diego State film with Rob Orich and what his defense has done. And I think it's going to be phenomenal. I know you guys loved that stuff when we were trying to do it on the morning show and got our hands slapped a little bit, but we'll be able to do this here. You also are going to get access to a private Discord channel. We've had several people talk to us about kind of wanting to take the chat just from live on the morning show and have an ability to talk and discuss after the show's over as well. This is actually going to help out our podcast people a bunch as well. And my plan is, I know DB's usually busy, especially during football games. My plan is to be in the Discord during games, chatting with you all during these games as well. And then we are also going to do quarterly meetups. I think they're pretty much always going to be at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. I think they're going to be in the evening as well. I know not everybody can get out during the day or in the morning, so we're going to make ourselves a little bit more accessible to you for those that want to meet up, chat, hang out, have a good time. But it's $5 a month. It'll be on Patreon, and so I'm sending out the link right now to sign up. Discord is where the channel is going to be. We can walk you through how to get on that if you're not familiar with the platform. But I'm literally hitting send on the tweet right now, and then we'll get DB to tweet it out once he gets the link from Sasha also. But I think it's going to be really good. If for nothing else, honestly, I'm really excited to get back into the film breakdowns because I think it's going to be a huge help, especially as Nebraska changes defensive schemes. And I know you guys were super into that when we were doing it on the show. So that's the plan. $5 a month. I think you're going to get more than your money's worth out of that. And we hope it ends up extending this really cool community that we've built here.
Yeah, what he said, it was so monotone. I was like, I feel juiced. My man is like, yeah, and when we
I was trying to get a lot of information out. I didn't want to get it lost.
Listen, here's the deal. We're going to send out a link. You pay $5 a month. We're going to give you all the perks that we can give you to set us apart and make us unique. We like our fun community, and we would just like to be able to capitalize on getting content that we could provide you that you'll never get anywhere else with kind of what we do and what we have access to. And it would help us get our discourse started. There are lots of benefits. So when that link comes out, just make sure you be like, yep, I like what those guys do. I know there's like 2,000 of you that watch every morning, and then we'll come back and replay us, and we do really good numbers. That's fine. That's cool. We like that part.
Mm-hmm.
But the next level, like what I enjoy doing and what Ravi enjoys doing is getting a little more in depth in terms of what we see.
Mm-hmm.
That part is fun.
And instead of just being able to describe it to you, we can show you. We can use the telestrator a little bit.
And it's not just football either. Like,
yeah, so we're basketball nerds too.
We like multi-sport stuff. So that's all.
Then I can get on my soapbox about how certain offenses aren't as complicated as we think they are. I can show you why, even though Ben Sturts went 0 for 9 from 3, why he was incredible against Florida.
God, you have a big neck.
Can I get more of the choking?
That was incredible.
It's I wear about an 18.
Is that a 20?
It's about 18 and a half.
God, I was going to say 20.
It used to be pushing 20 when I was like big into lifting. We've shrunk down a little bit.
I don't think I can generate any power.
Oh, you know what?
My fingers are too spread apart.
I'm just trying to be hard to choke. That's the
That probably didn't sound right on my part.
You're like, well, that's disappointing. That's the other thing too, guys.
I'm trying to be hard to choke.
Tiger brings up hope there's baseball included too. That's the other thing.
That's the one I talked about.
We can get into some stuff that maybe we don't have the time for during the main show as well. So I think you're going to be really excited. And I'm honestly, I'm really excited about the film breakdowns. I'm super excited about the Discord as well because it'll give us a little bit. Like Twitter gets a little goofy sometimes, in terms of the the conversations. I think because not only if you're not familiar with Discord, you can divvy it out into subjects and stuff so people can talk about what they want to, and it doesn't always just get jumbled together.
And my favorite thing that I like to light up about is the interaction, right? So
yeah.
We get to figure out how you guys, because I like that. I let people talk crazy to me all the time, and it doesn't really bother me most times because I feel there's probably going to be something I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that part of it.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like, hey, what do you guys think? And then we know what to do. Sometimes I like to talk about pitch sequence.
Yeah.
Or that was the term. That was what I used yesterday when Sasha was like, I didn't even know she was talking to me for like the first 3 minutes. And I was like, are you talking to me? And I felt terrible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I missed a lot of information.
That's okay.
But there's lots of cool things.
Yeah. We'll be able to get into a bunch of that stuff and get into some of the nitty gritty. Ooh, pitch tunneling. I'm a big pitch tunneling guy.
Listen, Dixie, I don't have to do it. Like there's people that are so smart. They're way smarter than me. So I can still use my fingers and draw and do all sorts of weird things. And
yeah, literally Rico's just going to come in here with the iPad and be like, here you go, DB.
I don't have to worry about technology.
And we're going to set up the Discord on his phone. So all he has to do is click on the app and be in there and good to go.
Oh, dude, I gave a stranger my phone Saturday.
You do that all the time.
I know.
You're like, hey, can you do this?
And
you're telling me you're trying to cash out somewhere. And you're like, I think there's a coupon on here. Can you figure it out?
There's a dude sitting in the hotel lobby and he put his readers on. He's like 3 tables away from me. And I was like, I don't know. I can't. It says, am I temporarily here? I can't go to area and change my zip code. And
for like your TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine does that a lot.
He goes, here, let me see your phone. And I was sitting, he's 2 tables over in the lobby. And I just grabbed it and I was like, I do it to Sasha. Can you figure this out? I don't know my password. I just give her
constantly.
Who do you do that to at home?
Nobody talks to me at home. Zoe knows more than me, so she's certainly not doing anything. And nobody.
Zoe's just out there trying to get whatever she wants on the TV.
Shane, I have to yell in my own house because nobody's ever close to me. Hey, is anybody up there?
It's because you just go camp out in the basement and you're good to go.
Dude, I'm like Beck. I'm a loser.
Great song.
It's all right.
You big Beck guy? He doesn't seem up your alley.
No, more like Shane. Who sings "Lonesome Loser"?
Little Rubber Band.
Yeah, I'm him or them.
You've also got 3 Doors Down has a song called "Loser."
Are they here with me, people?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's early. It was right after Kryptonite. Loser and Kryptonite were about the same time.
Do Kryptonite for me.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
Right after that, they had a song called "Loser" as well.
TV has to do radio. So that's kind of right.
Sasha's
because otherwise I'd have to be coaching. That's it.
Sasha's added the Patreon link to the YouTube description. DB will tweet it out right after the show. Sasha will tweet it out from DB's phone right after the show, and then we'll make sure we got you covered. Yes.
So do I just tweet the link? Because I clicked on it and it was redirecting me, and I was like, No, I can copy. Like I can see. She's like, oh my god.
Well, it'll take you to the page, and you have to sign up to actually see anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll take you. So you click on,
makes sense. Shout out you.
Yeah, you click on the link, you hit the membership, and you just go and sign up.
Austin's an idiot.
Membership options, join, just like that, easy peasy.
Read what that dummy said.
Don't vote for anything, guys. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Crecky says, tweet the link, not your meat. Didn't you say you were going to tweet out a picture of meat? What was it?
Catch me off guard. I was like, wait, I don't even know you. That's weird.
Tyga already subscribed. My guy, Tyga.
Yeah. So, and you know what you can do? Like for guys that really like this stuff and are constantly engaged with us, like Dank or some of these guys, like we'll know what you guys want.
Yeah. Because yes.
You know, because sometimes there'll be really strong opinions, and then we can just go from there.
Or you can ask us like, hey, when XYZ happened, like, can you explain what happened there? Like why this happened in a game or whatever. I think it'll add a lot to kind of the show and the experience. So I'm super excited about it. I think you guys will love what we're doing there. And like I said, even if you're just wanting to hang out and chat during games, that's kind of where I plan to be during a lot of the games here. Sasha, that's a good question. So does the video end up going straight from Patreon, or does it go on like a private YouTube channel? Do you know how that works?
It'll just be on Patreon.
Okay, yeah. So Amazing Daniel, once you sign up, the film breakdowns will be on Patreon itself within your membership. There you go. I didn't know the answer to that either, so I'm glad you asked, Daniel.
That's what you know what the answer to that question is.
Who famously said that?
That's when you know what the answer to that question is.
Well, you're doing a rule voice, but it sounds like
it's close.
It sounds like something Severe would say.
No, that's Mills Lane, former official. Former referee.
Judge Mills Lane?
He actually is a judge.
Yeah, I know. Well, you did like the show.
Yeah.
I remember.
I didn't watch that show. I just wanted to see him I'm like, how's the little guy just keep breaking up big boxers like that?
Well, I think there's a general level of respect that you're not supposed to punch the ref. You know?
Yeah, but you still have to be. It's
you got to have a little strength there to
separate idiots.
Yeah, guys that are not trying to get after it a little bit.
Jack, I'm trying to type in that drive from just outside the Nashville area to Houston to Whitney. How much is in your gas? You got a big rig, Jack. That sounded funny.
If he's driving a Yukon now, that's a good sized vehicle.
Yeah, and gas is high.
Yeah, especially depending on where you're at in the country. We're actually not too bad here considering.
I saw the average in Whitney was it 364?
Yeah, which is not.
It's not, and it was low. It was lower than I thought. I'm trying to remember the AAA graphic.
It's not awful nationally. Yeah.
Wait, Joe Good, you're a baseball ump? Joe Good strikes me as the type of dude that would be mean to kids.
Why do you say that?
Because he's very direct.
Well, that's not mean. Kids just need to learn.
That's true. But I could see go sit your ass down, kid. Yes, that was called strike 3. I could see that.
Well, if you're complaining about
or a little Sierra and LaBoca
balls and strike, you got to, got to get going.
He said no. I'm not, but to the coaches, yes.
Well, fair enough.
Oh no, Jack, he is my favorite person.
Oh, he stayed. My man stayed in Oklahoma to play poker, and he's driving to Houston tomorrow. My man's living his life.
I mean, just his best life.
Jack,
you're a poker guy?
That's great.
Oh, I heart you. I wish I had a life so I could play poker.
We could play poker. I'll play poker with you.
Yeah, you did dabble.
Yeah,
on my birthday.
You don't like how I play poker, though.
Over time I would.
Yeah.
Because you came in, chips flying. I was like, oh God, is this dude that aggressive, or is he just catching good cards? It was very tough to figure out.
Yeah. And I did the Pinnacle Bank, who we do the Pinnacle Bank Championship with, they had a fundraiser a few weeks ago, a Cards for Charity thing. And I'll be honest, man, I didn't catch anything better than like a pair of 10s the entire night.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough out here for your boy.
Just real grimy.
Well, and
sometimes those are the fun ones. So who loves poker is our Kia folks, Edwards.
Oh, Heath.
Yeah.
We should get Heath together. So here's the problem.
He won our Super Bowl poker party.
When you're playing with guys that you don't know at all, I find bluffing to be useless.
Yeah, because
I can't read anybody. I have no idea how they play. I don't know their tendencies. Like, it was a little tough at your place, but I at least knew some of the people there. Yeah. Outside of Veland, his face doesn't change at all for anything.
I did do that, Coach Grant.
What did he say?
I couldn't fix the timer on my phone, so I gave it to him at Pisons to fix.
I forgot about that.
Yes, to answer a question, you don't need an app. There is an app though if you prefer to do it that way, but you can access it right from your browser, on your phone if you don't want to download another app. But there is a Patreon app also, so totally up to you, whatever you prefer. But no, we were playing with some of your coaches. I at least have a sense for their personalities a little bit, which helps a lot. Obviously, I know you very well.
Yeah.
It was just I'm sitting next to Veland, and I'm like, even if I knew this dude, his face is
the same.
Just like, look at the camera right here. Just
how about Coach Lloyd playing with Coach Lloyd at Coach Scores?
He didn't play.
But he wouldn't say much anyway.
Yeah, he was just chilling. I like him though. I feel like I could figure him out.
Coach Lloyd?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great person.
Yeah, I feel like I could figure out what his deal was.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I forgot I came over and played Coach Scores too. Yeah, so I played with you a couple times.
Unbelievable addition to West Side staff.
I'm gonna be honest. Both of those times at the end, I got out of character because I wanted to do something else.
Oh, you got tired of
because SMU Clemson was on and they were like going to overtime at Sakura's house, and I was like,
to be honest, that's part of poker is endurance.
Yes,
that's a lot of
I need there to be nothing else I want to do. And then I'll be honest, on your birthday, I felt bad that I was keeping you from everybody upstairs because everybody else, it was just you and me heads up at the last two.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can grind this out forever. But I was like, literally his entire 50th birthday party's upstairs. I'm going to make a play and we're going to go. I get either I win or I lose.
Just shoving on like 7-8 suited or like so 8-7 offsuit or something.
I'll wait till I have at least like a play.
Yeah.
But there's a certain point if there's something else going on. And I still ended up because I was second. So I was like, I'm winning money here regardless.
I didn't realize, in OKC, and he's in the right part because when I was in Tulsa, there's a casino on like every other corner.
Yeah.
But with times the way they are, not everybody has poker tables.
Yeah.
Because dealers have been hard to come by.
Also, like poker at casino. So Jack says, he goes, I play tight the first couple hours to read the table.
I like what he said, hours. Like you
got to figure it out.
Yeah, it can be easily 6, 7, 8 hour grimy.
And if you're at a casino, that's different. If you're like at a charity thing, it's like, all right, we kind of like the whole thing is lasting 2 hours, maybe. Like we got to go. And I certainly didn't want to keep you in your basement for.
That's fine. I mean, I knew everybody. It'd be all right.
I did feel bad though. I was like, all right, let's get DB upstairs. Either one of us is winning or losing all the money right now.
I like the way you think.
Listen, you got to do it. It's but I'll take a shot every now. Poker's fun. I used to have a weekly poker game. Like I love poker.
Good for you, Shane. Did we got KC for tomorrow at 9?
Yes.
Okay.
A little baseball, and he'll be on the spring call, right?
Yeah. So if Jess is, she kind of corrals these things that are very, like last year was tough, right? With the spring game format. And,
yeah, because it was all over the place.
And she was kind of like, okay, let's roll with it.
Yeah.
I hope I'm praying Casey's built like that because I could see a little anxiety because Jess could potentially still be in.
I'll say
in Houston.
Yeah.
And we'll use Searles on the sidelines, and it's a fairly fluid deal.
Yeah.
So be nice to him tomorrow.
Do you know, like format wise, are they doing like a full game? Like, do you know what the plan is there?
They have not said yet.
Okay.
They have not, and they just got back. They met Sunday or didn't have meetings Sunday and back at it on Monday. So they're ready.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's listen, I think I am more excited for the spring game than almost anyone. I like in terms of people I've talked to.
It's exciting.
I'm pumped for the spring game. But I love that stuff. I like watching practices. I like watching summer league. I like watching workouts. So the spring game is kind of up my alley. I'm not one of those. This doesn't matter. It's not real football. Like, I feel like I can learn something from everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And like depth is like this going to be a thing.
That's so I'm excited about it. I'm obviously excited about Nebraska basketball as well. But that is the show for today. Stick around though, because Mike Sauter and I are going to talk about the upcoming basketball trip to Houston for the Nebraska basketball team, and we'll recap what we just saw in Oklahoma City. So stick around for a few minutes after the show. We'll get into a little Nebraska shoot around on that. But DB and I will be back tomorrow, and keep your eyes out on keep your eyes out on Twitter DB will tweet out the link to the Patreon.
I'm doing it right now because I feel like Sasha's eyes are on me.
Did Sasha help you out?
Get your bunda in gear.
No, he's just figuring out. Here we go. I like it.
I'm just gonna. Hey, is there anything you want me to say? Like, do you want to tell me what to say too? I like how she just. Sasha, have you ever been in prison? You enjoy talking through the glass.
Well, I'm reserved now because last time I forgot people could hear me and I had a meltdown live on the air.
Well, he was the only one that was mad. I was cool.
I wasn't mad. I was just like,
So, is there anything you want me to say?
I mean, just, hey, sign up for. I mean, you could copy what. Hey, sign up for this. You could copy what Ravi put. I thought that was pretty succinct.
Oh, I got to do what he does. Fine.
Yes.
All right.
All right. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow. It's a Wednesday, halfway through the week. What's up, Shane?
Is it okay to play the music bed?
He's been sitting on that for a week.
Go for it, big dog. When I start wrapping up, that's when you play the music bed, not just when you're done.
Oh, so keep it going. Well, it's not 10 o'clock yet. That's what I was wondering.
I know, but we got Mike in. I just explained that if you were listening to the show.
I wasn't listening.
I'm aware. That's the show for today. I guess Shane hadn't talked enough. Needed to get one in. We'll be right back with some Mike Sauter, and I'll be here as well for Nebraska Shoot Around. Stick around for a minute. DB and I will be back tomorrow. Hurrdat Sports Live.
March into savings with Edwards Kia's March Mania lease special. Lease the 2025 Kia 4 EX starting at just $209 a month. A fresh new ride at an unbeatable price. This is what March Mania looks like. March into savings in a big way. Or lease the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at just $499 a month. Don't wait. March into savings right now at Edwards Kia.
Yeah, I think we kind of had to weather the storm there, and I think that we learned a lot. I think the biggest changes we've made is just to be a little bit more creative offensively and speed up the tempo a little bit, and I think that's helped our offense a ton, just find a little bit more space to get more kills. But I think we're playing really well together right now, and like every day at practice, everyone's so intentional with getting better, and it's really fun to be a part of. I think we're just going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Yeah, those are hard-fought points, and you're so close, and it keeps slipping away, and you're working your way back, and it goes for both teams. So in those moments, how mentally strong you are, how much you trust your teammates that they're going to do their job, that's really, really important. And today, like every member on the team, especially the ones on the court, they knew exactly, and every really what's her job to do, what touches hers, not to hesitate, not to count on somebody else to do her job.
Welcome back in. It's Nebraska Shoot Around. That's Mike Sauter. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ, and we are we're going to use some terminology here. I just want to make everybody aware. The NCAA is litigious AF, and so we're going to say things like round of 16 and the final 8, and it's not because we're morons. It's because we don't want to get sued. So just that being said, want to get that out of the way first.
Oh, you can't call it the one word?
We can't call it almost anything.
Unless you're writing it, not in.
Yes.
Okay.
Because our great friends at Union Bank and Trust have trusted us to bring you your Nebraska basketball coverage. So it is the round of 16 because the NCAA won't even let teams tweet out their own videos. So they certainly won't let us do anything as well. But that being said, it is a very exciting time here. Nebraska basketball in the round of 16 playing who else? It's got to be Iowa, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's already, and we are days away from the game. It is already made for some just crazy talk.
Oh yeah, it's getting aggressive already. Like we're out there.
This is what I said about this game. Whoever wins this game, the other fan base, people, whatever, can't say a thing.
It's bragging rights forever.
For life.
Bragging rights
rights for life.
Forever.
Life.
This is on par, Midwestern-wise, with UNC ending Coach K's career.
Yeah.
That's where we're at in the scheme of Nebraska versus Iowa. It is bragging rights for life.
It's crazy. And the way Iowa did it, like I was just I had just gotten back from Oklahoma City and I was like, okay, I need to take a breath here. And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to put the game on, like the Florida-Iowa game. I'm just going to watch it. And then I was like, it got to, I think, the under 8 time out of the first half. And I look at my wife and kids. I'm in the living room. And then I said, I need to go to the basement and lock in on this right now because I got to really pay attention because I thought, I think everyone outside of people that are involved with the Iowa men's basketball program thought that Florida was going to win and just kind of go through it. And Florida clearly played like they thought that. So then I was like, man, and the way Iowa did it, out offensive rebounded Florida, which is
insane.
The best offensive rebound team in the country, or one of, is nuts. They were more physical. They just everything about it. They obviously pace is.
I'll say the game control was off the charts.
Yeah.
Just their control over that game was insane.
That's just what.
That's what they do, though.
That's how Iowa plays. Yeah, and it's true. If this game's in the 60s on Thursday, I'll be surprised.
So Austin and I talked about this at some point. I think maybe it was last Friday when we were talking at the end of the show, and we both thought, hey, this is definitely a game where Iowa at least is going to be, because stylistically they were going to be in it somewhere between the 8 and 12 minute mark of the second half. Like I felt very strongly that they were going to be in the neighborhood of that game by that point. So for a good 30 minutes of that game. The problem for Florida is they weren't just in it. They were up double digits at about the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, it was 11:44, 11:15 or something. It was a 12-point game.
So that's where you go from, Iowa's going to be in this thing. And Florida, to be fair, did what we thought they were going to do at that point and kind of started to separate out from Iowa. But because they had fallen behind double digits by that point, and a double-digit lead against Iowa is like a 20-point lead against everyone else.
Because they limit possessions.
Yes, they shorten the game. They limit possessions. It's like when, I made this analogy to DB yesterday. It's like when Tony Bennett was at, I said Washington State because he doesn't have the Virginia level players yet, where he would shorten games and he would be in games that he had no business being in. But he didn't have Bennett Sturts. And for whatever the shooting number, I mean, I know what they were, 5 of 16, 0 for 9. I get it. But
still made plays.
He made play. Literally no one on that team is ever open if he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Ever.
He's an extremely, the most impressive thing I think about him is his ability to just make that pocket pass, and it is like perfect every time. It's weird, even if it's like he had one like looping cross court thing, and it just bang right on the dime, shot ready pass, like unbelievable. And I
don't know if he played quarterback in high school, but he should have. He should have.
Yeah, it's great. It reminds you a little bit of like Baylor Sherman without the flashy pass.
It's not, it doesn't have the flair.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit similar.
And even on that last possession, the corner 3 by Fulgaris, right? Everybody thought Bennett Sturts was taking that shot. That's the Florida defender bails on a wide open guy in the corner
defend him,
because you cannot afford to let Bennett Sturts get downhill. Or B, take a wide open 3, because it would have been the very first wide open 3 he'd had all game.
Even the inbound pass, like
that inbound pass was insane.
On the run. It's hard to hit that and keep him kept his momentum. Is perfect.
So that angle is unbelievably hard to execute that pass. But what it does is he had already beat the defender.
Yes.
Right? Like, so that's why the guy had to bail on Fulgaris in the corner. It was everything Iowa did was a perfect execution of their game plan. Everything.
We talk about Nebraska being extremely well connected. I was pretty connected too, on and off the court. I mean, core of their guys, 2 years now, like they moved on from Drake to Iowa. That's a massive.
Some of those guys moved from Northwest Missouri State to Drake.
They've been in the system.
Iowa.
They know what to do. So it's very similar to Nebraska in that way, where they're just mature old players, and they just attacked Florida's bigs right in the chest. Like, I mean, Banks did it. They just right in the chest. They either got him in foul trouble or they created enough space with a bump to get a little floater off or like right around the rim. I mean, it was.
I will say their finishing ability, especially in the first half, was insane.
Like kept
the shots they were making in the first half.
Clearly, that was part of their game plan, and I was like, man,
because they didn't shoot it well in the first half.
No.
But that when they started to shoot it well is when they explained it out into that 12-point lead.
Iowa had 32 points in the paint.
Yeah,
against Florida, and Florida had
best
30.
Front court in the country, basically.
Yeah, Florida had 30.
I mean, healthy Duke has an argument for best front court in the country. Arizona has the best argument for front court in the country, and it's Florida. It's those 3 teams, right?
Right.
Best front courts in the country. And so what Iowa was able to do was phenomenal. Now, that being said, all of that being said about Iowa, I still like Nebraska in this game.
Yeah, so the last time, obviously, there's 2 things. If you look back at both games, like the one in Iowa City and the one in Lincoln. So in Iowa City, I believe, I said it after the game, Nebraska wasn't ready for that physicality on defense off the ball. I mean, Iowa's clutchy, grabby. They're going to reach. They're going to swipe at the ball every time. All of those things. Nebraska.
They're a grimy basketball team.
Yes,
they just are.
Yes, and that's how they win. And nothing wrong with that. That's how they play.
Yeah. Stylistically, not my favorite, but it is a.
That's what it takes for them to win.
Viable winning strategy. It has been for McCollum his entire career.
Yeah. So, and they swipe down in gaps and all those things. So Nebraska wasn't ready for that. They were much more ready for it in Lincoln. If you remember, that game went to overtime, but they were up. Nebraska was up double digit in the second half. So
Nebraska had really good control of that game for most of that game.
Yeah, because they're ready for it that time. And it's just a different style to play against. So it's one of those things where there is not really a advantage as far as prep, and this team's hard to prep for, and this one is they know
each other.
Yeah, they know each other so well. Yeah. It's totally insane. So it's just going to come down to, I think, how the game's called.
Yeah,
if it's called tight, Iowa might be in trouble.
So that actually is, I think, the biggest difference between the 2 matchups we saw in the regular season versus this matchup here in the NCAA tournament, because the Big Ten does tend to allow a lot of physicality.
Yeah.
Right? It's a physical league.
Yeah.
They let it happen. We saw Nebraska struggle with it at times during the year. UCLA is a great example where they'll just let you beat up. That's a Mick Cronin thing. His teams beat people up. Like, that's just what they do. He did it at Cincinnati. He's done it at UCLA. I do think typically the NCAA tournament is called a little bit tighter,
especially as farther along as it gets.
Yes. Than the Big Ten in general.
Because refs want that next game.
Yes, they want to get the calls right. Yes.
Yeah, that's part.
Because if you don't get the certain percentage of calls right, you don't get to move on.
Yeah, right.
Right. And just like the teams, they want to move on to the next round because you get more paydays, whatever, and everything like that. So I do think there's a chance that the way this game is called favors Nebraska stylistically.
Yeah, I agree.
More than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things too for Nebraska defensively. It's like their ball screen defense is going to have to be, as Fred loves to say, on point.
Yeah.
Because that's what, I mean, obviously you want Sturtz with the ball if you're Iowa in that ball screen. He's hard, and you want to try and make him go left because he's right hand dominant.
Yes. Yeah.
He's good with
still
both.
pretty good left.
But but getting
you still want him to go to your offhand.
Yeah, he still even if he goes left, he can get back right.
Yes.
So you got to kind of maybe force it that way. Rebounding is going to be a massive piece to this.
So I want to stay on ball screen defense for a quick second before we get to rebounding, because that was the one thing. I know Berke had an incredible game.
He did.
Great defensively, really smart and efficient offensively. Here's the
hit 2 threes.
And I'll give him a lot of credit. I feel like he's gotten much smarter about when to take those threes, right? Much more discerning in when to take those threes. The one thing that I had a little bit of an issue with, sometimes on his ball screen defense, he closes that space for no reason.
Yeah.
So he kind of contains, and listen, it's not a hard hedge. No. He will contain, and sometimes Nebraska does hard hedge, but not usually with Berke. So he'll contain.
Rink is the one that hard hedges.
Yeah, Rink hard hedges and recovers. Berke usually contains, but there were multiple times against Tanner specifically where he had him contained, and then I don't know if he thought he was going to shoot, but then he would close the gap for no reason, and then he got by him. That happened several times. He can't do that.
No.
Like, they got to watch that film and say, hey, if Bennett Sturtz can shoot over your 6'9" extended hand,
go for
it, right? Like, that's a thing you live with and are happy to live with. I can't have you closing that space, because if he gets by you and compromises the defense, then you have a problem. And that's where Tanner ate a lot in the second half when he was getting guys involved. That to me is like, and I'm sure Nate Lenzer will see it because he's better at this than I ever could be. Like, that's the thing with Berke is do not close that space for no reason. Like, unless the dribble is picked up, and even then I'm okay with giving him a little bit of room so you don't foul him.
Right.
Like, you're 6'9", man.
Yeah.
When you're on that switch, you don't have to be that close. Give him the space.
I do wonder if they're going to change a little bit of strategy and just
on coverage,
hard hedge the coverages, the whole and hard hedge the ball screens just the whole time. You can't go under them.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So like, I just wonder if they're going to try and hard hedge trap. They're going to have
sometimes it makes it simpler for the
long, wide, high hands. All defense, the whole game is what's going to have to happen.
And the thing with Iowa is, I think sometimes you can afford to hard hedge because they're not interested in shooting early.
No.
So even if they pass out of it and get good ball movement, if you're more than 10 seconds left on the shot clock, they're probably still not putting that thing up.
Right.
So there's other teams like Vandy, you probably didn't want to hard hedge because their ball movement, they're like, they will put that thing up in a hurry.
Oh my God.
Tanner was really great. Yeah. Nickel was shooting the ball insane. Like, they had several guys shooting the ball well, and I thought their ball movement was incredible. Like, they were popping that thing around once Tanner compromised the defense. Even though Iowa's a good ball movement team, once it gets out of Sturtz's hands, I don't think they have enough interest in shooting it early that's going to bite you the way it would have against Vandy.
I agree. And getting to rebounding, just looking at box score here from the 84-75 overtime. That's a lot of points. I don't think that's going to happen.
What was the regulation score there? What was the end of regulation?
50. The end of regulation. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have the box score in front of me. I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Rebounding. So rebounding.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounds, Iowa 7-5 advantage there. That's fine. And defensive rebounding, 25-24. Iowa had an advantage there. Here's the thing: Iowa turned it over 19 times in Lincoln. That's a lot. And Nebraska had 11 steals, so 8 of those were non-steal turnovers, which means just kind of bad decisions from Iowa. So if you can force them to make those bad decisions.
Yeah.
That's one thing where, like, I think the crowd is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I think so.
I really do. And if I've heard a lot of people going to Houston, it's a lot more expensive to one, get there, two, tickets are crazy, all of those things. So I think that I do think the Nebraska fans will travel because let's face it, like football hasn't been awesome. So you've
saved a lot of money on bowl trips the last decade.
That's what I mean.
Let's put it that way.
You might as well just ride this baby out.
So that game was 70-70 at the end of regulation. If Nebraska gets to 70 in regulation, they're winning.
Feel good. Yeah.
Like that. I am confident saying that.
Yeah.
If they get to 70 in regulation,
I do
they're
think
winning.
the game will probably be like 60s, low 70s, something like that.
If you can get into the low 70s, that's a Nebraska win. I think Iowa needs to play this game below 65.
Yeah. If Nebraska hits 70 points, they're going to win.
Yeah. Like full stop. Like that's
what it is, unless it's in overtime or like 4 overtimes.
Yeah.
Fouls was another thing too. 18-12. Iowa had 18 in that first one, and or in the second game, and 12. So and 12 for Nebraska. So they weren't called so much. That's probably a home, like home court thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cooper Koch is playing really well right now, and Combs was awesome against Nebraska that second time around. It's one of those things where like Price Sanford's going to have to play well again, and he has all year, and like that's.
I mean, listen, you're in the round of 16 in the NCAA tournament. Your good players have to play well, or you don't get a keep playing.
So like, two things: guys that don't average 5 to 6 rebounds a game, something like that. Both Price Sanford and Cale Jacobson each had 6 defensive rebounds in that game.
Yeah,
in Lincoln.
Which
That's
is
huge.
And that's kind of where we saw the tide turn late for Nebraska in rebounding.
Is the Sanford rebounding?
Yes, was the perimeter players crashing and going
down.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
It's totally a thing. I mean, you look at it was 57-52 in Iowa City, and those two guys, just for example, Sanford had 0 rebounds, and
can't happen.
And Cale Jacobson had 1.
Yeah, that can't happen. Those two probably need 10 combined.
And they got out offensive rebounded 12-2 in that game.
Also cannot happen.
Yeah. So after that game, the rebounding has been significantly better for Nebraska.
That's a great point and a huge factor there. The other thing, you mentioned the score in Iowa City. If this game is played in the 50s, Iowa wins.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no questions asked. Like, that is just, they executed their game plan. If this game is played in the 50s, Iowa wins. If this game is played in the 70s, Nebraska wins.
Yeah.
If we're in the 60s, that's where it becomes coin flip region, right? Like, I do think it's that cut and dry. I really do. Like, there is, and honestly, I would even get more specific. I'd say like 63 to 68 is coin flip range.
Right.
And anything below 62 is Iowa. Anything above 68 is Nebraska.
I was going to say like 67.
Yeah, 67, 68, like somewhere in that range. But I legitimately think we're talking about like a 4 or 5 point total score difference between this being a huge advantage Iowa versus huge advantage Nebraska. And that sounds so specific, but I think it's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, 3-point spread is probably about right.
Ken Pom has it at 3. Yeah.
Mm.
And I think he's got the projected score high 60s for Nebraska, 69?
Yeah, 69, 66.
So that's right in that range that we're talking about where I think that goes advantage Nebraska.
I mean, they're so similar. Like,
I mean, it's a very evenly matched, even though stylistically they're different. This is a very evenly matched game. And I'm fascinated.
Iowa is shooting at a very good rate as a team from 3, 35.1%.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, Nebraska is giving up just 30.1% from 3.
And Iowa's 3-point defense not as good as Nebraska's. They're almost giving up 34%.
Yeah.
So, like, Nebraska's going to have opportunities to make shots.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yep. And they're both, I mean, everything is.
It's pretty even. I mean, it's pretty even. Nebraska's better defensively. According to the metrics, they're top 10 team.
6,
Iowa's top 30-ish.
Yeah.
So, Nebraska.
But Iowa's offense is 25th, and Nebraska's
like 50th.
offense is 52nd.
Yeah. So
that's just because they offensive rebounding numbers.
Yes.
That's literally and they don't get to the foul line as much.
So that's a huge. I mean, that's basically Nebraska gives up a little bit on offense. Iowa gives up a little bit on defense. This is a very even
If
matchup.
Nebraska's offensive rebounding numbers were like in the 200s outside of, and not 311th in the country, and their free throw attempts to field goal attempts were like in the low 200s, they'd have a top 20 offense.
Yeah. And if you're having,
so like those two,
frankly, if you're talking about a top 20 offense, you're talking about a national title contender.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Top
mean,
20 offense and a 7th rated
yeah,
defense.
6th, 7th. Yeah, you're talking about a national title contender. I mean, really.
That's insane.
And so that's kind of the difference there. So the point of that being is if Nebraska can offensive rebound at a little bit higher rate and get to the free throw line a little bit higher rate, both of the things they did in the second matchup against Iowa, then you are talking about a team that can beat just about anybody.
And they got to the line
27 times the second time?
Yeah, and they got to the line late against Vandy too because the refs started calling the off the ball fouls.
Which is important.
Very important.
Especially with Price.
Very important.
Like that is a huge part of this game. And
Sturts will probably guard Price again too.
Yep. And which is, I think, great because wearing Sturts out because of what the burden he has to carry offensively.
That dude has played.
His conditioning's incredible.
Insane minutes.
But I understand that. Most of those minutes on defense are not spent trailing a guy like Price.
Yeah.
Like Price makes your life very difficult, even when he's doesn't have the ball in his hands.
In conference play,
I mean, he's got to be at like 39 minutes a game.
In conference play, just Big Ten conference play, 95.3% of the minutes played, number one in the conference easily.
Yeah, I mean,
and for the whole season, 93.7% of minutes played. That's 5th best in the country.
Yeah,
that's in the Big Ten.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, his conditioning and physical shape right now is
absolutely insane.
Yeah,
and so that's the that'll be the key there.
One thing too with Price in that matchup, something that Nebraska did, I said this a couple of times in the second matchup that they haven't even shown again.
Oh, they got the ball to him in different spots
in the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Price the ball in the post to get him started. I mean, that was like the first play of the game. They didn't make it, but first play of the game got to him in the post.
Yeah, and then they did a couple more times, and then they started running him off screens down in the post, which kind of made Iowa stay a little bit more honest on not just chasing him because he might just set up there and get you in a bad spot.
Because he's
under
capable
the basket.
of like a low, like 1-footer.
He's also, I mean, he's 6'7" tall. Like he's a big guy. He can he can go do some things as well. So and Sturts is like he does have a few inches on Sturts, right? So you could post him up and make a little hay.
Another quick thing, or you got to get out of here, but a quick thing here is something that Iowa did a great job of, and they do a good job of, even in possessions because their players are really smart, is they find the matchup and like they switch. If they get a switch on to like, so the first game, Frager and Price, Sanford got switched on to Sturts on the wing, and Sturts just took right to the basket.
Yeah,
like right around him, and they like kept attacking those two matchups. And Nebraska, you have to keep one of those two guys on the floor basically at all times. So like that's something to look out for too. They really attack matchups and understand the matchups. The players do, obviously the coaches do. The players for sure do. That is something to also look out for, I guess, if you will, in this game.
There you go. That is Mike Sauter. That's Nebraska shoot-around. Nebraska playing in the round of 16 on Thursday against Iowa, and God willing, they'll be playing on Saturday as well. Make that a nice long weekend in Houston for everybody that's heading down. Sounds like at least in our chat this morning, sounds like driving might be a viable option for a lot of people with the TSA weights right now. So that is something to consider if you haven't purchased tickets.
I think Omaha might be a little better with the TSA weight. Houston's gonna scare me.
Yeah, I would say
like
if you can. I don't know if you guys bought your tickets yet, but hopefully you're flying into Hobby. That's all I have to say.
Or not.
Okay, well, have fun. I hope you guys are going early. That's Mike Sauter. This is Nebraska Shoot Around. Make sure you follow Hail Varsity, Hurrdat Sports.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot.
And Mike Sauter on social media. They will have all the coverage. Avery's going down there with you this week, as well as the man, the myth, the legend, John S. Peterson, as well. It's going to be great coverage on all the Hurrdat Sports channels, so make sure you check those out. We appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah.
DB and I will be back tomorrow morning on Hurrdat Sports Live.